Alright, hello. So, previously on Tales of Aether, a lot of you have decided to figure out what to do with your lost laser and how to recoup the losses. You've went through quite a few plans before deciding to just say fuck it, let's go investigate things and make our choices as we learn more, which was a really good idea. So you follow the address that was provided to you on a mysterious flyer. You went into the warehouse district. Vinyl turned into a cat, was yeeted onto a roof, and observed the local rebellion cell in their native environment, fiddling with the lasers they've taken from Milo, who's taken it from you. Having learned their numbers, their location, and that they are indeed there busy with your laser, you've decided to rattle on them to Elijah. And so Miles and Dalu went to do that. The rattling went very, very well. Elijah was quite excited and happy about your assistance. Dalu was introduced properly, much to Dalu's surprise. And setting the scene on fire, you fucked off back to the rock base to drop it. There, you've reactivated the reactor. You did that eventually, but before that, you powered up the vault door, gave Dalu a little bit of time, and, well, the pinball wizard over there has managed to hack the vault door successfully, overriding both the metrics and the passwords, showing you a mostly empty chamber with a single glass case and a book in it. Seeing the terrible, deadly necromantic magic that was trapping this case, Aether has grabbed it with both hands, almost losing them in the process. Lance found out that the book was immune to his telekinetic powers, but thus Aether was saved. The book was grabbed, and you have turned off the reactor, backed off to your ship, and watched as rock lost its lift and collapsed deeper into the plane of air, hitting a couple more rocks on the way and cracking smaller pieces. Satisfied with your job seemingly done and making sure to record the events on your log for proof, you are there because that's where we ended. So what do you do now? Fly back to Aurelia?
I think so, yes. Another 2.5 day journey. Or like 2.25.
As a reminder, Aether has spent the last day refusing medical help, so she hasn't recovered any of her lost energy, let's put it that way, aside from what Vinyl has killed her. And by the way, before we start doing anything important, I believe Dalu and Aether have not rolled for hit points for level 4.
I completely forgot that. I meant to, sorry.
Please do that just right now, both of you.
Yes.
So what's kind of like 4,
Level 4.
6 plus whatever your bonus size.
Right, so that's +2 per level, plus con modifier, which isn't there, so it's just +2 per level, so it's...
Plus 8.
4d6 plus 8, right?
Yep. It's for you.
It didn't matter.
What's your previous hit point?
20.
So your new hit points are 21.
Oh, really? It increases by 1?
Well, apparently I reread the rules, and if you roll below, you just get 1 hit point.
Fair enough.
About
17 for me.
So
I rolled there 17, so I'm up 1 hit point from the last level.
Got it.
A lovely one.
Okay, never mind.
By the way, Aether will have... she did encounter the fucking bunnies, didn't she?
Yeah.
Has she? Didn't you refuse going into the medbay?
No, I think she went in, freaked
All right,
out.
yes. And this
Yeah,
is
I
why
think-
she refused medical help,
Yes, exactly.
because bunnies are dangerous.
No, but
Yes.
the doctor who thinks that, oh yes, this is a perfectly normal thing to do, might be. She will have mentioned this to the others, by the way, not in a big, oh, I'm gonna rat you out to the boss and now you're gonna get fired way or anything.
We're not rats. We don't rat out.
Just
We're not
just
snitches at all.
I was
Just-
about to say I can see a tendency in our behavior, but sorry.
just sort of like over coffee or some shit like later that shift or something, she'll just be like, so I went to get my hands looked at, and it turns out the fucking idiot doctor's been keeping bunnies in the med bay.
We have
So-
bunnies on board.
Well,
Can we-
yes, apparently.
2.5 of them.
Also, yeah, is he like right there?
I just whoever wants to have been there can be there, and yes, that includes him because she's not going to be shy about saying it just because he's there.
Yeah, I'll drink coffee in the morning.
Is Winnold there or not?
I guess.
Judging
I'm
by
there.
his look, he is.
We have bunnies?
Excuse me? Could you
I,
repeat that?
I have bunnies.
And
Well,
I-
apparently we do now.
I need them for an experiment.
Please elaborate.
I'd rather not at this point because there's someone who needs medical attention and I don't want to freak her out any more than she is. And good morning, Aether. How are you feeling? Don't answer that because I already know.
Get a little lesson in bedside manners if you want to not freak people out. Maybe don't say in front of them. I'm not going to talk about this matter because it will freak them out. Doesn't
Yes,
tend to work.
They keep hearing me, and I'll try. I'll work on it. But in the meantime, maybe you should know that what you're experiencing right now, it won't get better on its own. You need some
was-
kind of treatment. If you don't like
I was
my
hoping we
treatment,
could find
then-
some kind of thaumaturge and consult once we hit land. There must be something even in this.
I mean, the doc is perfectly capable of fixing you. He got me an arm and a leg replaced. I'm sure he can do a deal with some necromancy. I think it's not just the arm
Yeah.
and the leg, some internal parts too, so...
Yes. And didn't you say that those arms and legs happen to not be the same species as yourself?
I mean, you can just look at them. Yes, they're obviously different.
Right.
Yeah.
And let's just say that I have no particular desire to end up part bunny.
I mean, are you
What would I
missing...
even?
You're not missing any body parts. Why would he put any part bunny in you? Honestly, that... You know, you could replace your ears. That might look funny.
I'll be right back, just a sec.
Right.
So,
No, I think
so Aether, what's your
Yes,
problem?
Captain
Is
goes
your
off to look at
problem
the bunnies.
just my bedside manner, or is it maybe the fact I'm mostly using magic? Because we could try conventional medicine as well, if that's more your
It's-
thing.
it's your ability, or lack thereof, I suppose, to distinguish between patient and specimen.
What is the difference? You have a
Yes.
you have a condition, it can be fixed.
It-
I this is exhausting.
Question, can we pet the bunnies, or is that not allowed when they are... Should we not get too attached?
Whatever. I don't care.
I'll be in the med bay, you said? I'll be there.
I'm,
See you in a sec.
I'm sure if you ask him nicely, he will attach the bunnies to you. He'd be delighted.
I'll walk off to the med bay and go and pet some bunnies.
Well,
If I'm probably not in the same room, but if I remember correctly, when someone asked Winnow, how many bunnies there were? You said like 2.5 bunnies.
Yeah.
So you're gonna walk in the medbay and see
Yeah,
half bunnies.
What is half bunny? Yeah.
I'll actually say to
And which
Yvette,
half?
just pick a treatment, pick a doctor, let me know. And I'll walk off and follow Lance. And while we're walking, so the bunnies. It's something I'm working on for you. I mean, how are your new arms? Are you still getting that remote control feeling?
At night, sometimes when I'm like completely still in bed, but can't sleep yet, that is when it sometimes I sometimes get the twitching. But as of recently, it hasn't happened too much. Mostly when we're on downtime.
Right, because I think last time we spoke, I said something along the lines of maybe there's someone that knows something, and I wasn't quite honest with you. I mean, there is something I can do. I should be able to do, but I just can't do it yet. So I'm practicing. And the good news is, if you want, we could restore your arms as they were. So you would get rid of these things you have right now.
The conclusion I'm drawing from this is that you are mutilating these poor bunnies to test on them if you can regrow their limbs.
That's how science is done. I'm sorry to tell you. It has to be tested on something. But I have only lost one so far, so... I mean, take a look at the Mr. Ear. Like, I think the ear is okay. I'll keep practicing and...
You regrew that?
Yes.
Oh. Honestly, I don't know bunnies, so I wouldn't have been able to tell.
Well, it's half the size of the other one, so they're
Hmm,
usually
sounds
long.
normal enough, right?
Yeah, but you wouldn't want that for an arm, so...
No, I'd rather not. Though, honestly, I don't need my arms as much as the average person might. Still, I'd rather not.
I think that's one of those sentences no one has ever said before, but... Yeah, okay. So, anyway, I'll keep practicing because I think I should be able to do it. And
Sounds nice, yeah.
if you need it, let me know. If you don't, that's fine too. I'm sure someone at the rate we're going, someone will lose an arm soon enough, and then it'll be worth it. But so, yeah, feel free to pet. Don't get too attached.
Yeah, especially not to their limbs. Interesting. Well, thank you for trying out this avenue, I suppose. I do
Sure.
somewhat feel for the bunnies, but it'll be fine.
I mean, I still have a few.
Yeah. And if you master it, they'll be non-permanently scarred, apart from their psyche, I think. So, yeah. Didn't expect this, but it's fine.
We have narcotics. It's not... I don't know what you're thinking I'm doing here, but they don't know what's happening. And they're happy. Look at them. I think.
They look happy enough. Sounds good enough. Okay, well, yeah. Thank you, Doc.
If you want to feed them, food is in the corner.
Yes, I would like that. Thank you.
Ben, you're
So
muted. Oh,
you
no,
like
it was lagging.
buy a pig, you harvest some pork, you rectify the pig.
Infinite meat.
There's a joke there that a null joke, but in any case, Miles will also come to the medical bay. Bueno,
Yes.
I don't know what you're doing here. I'm pretty sure it's valuable. I would appreciate if next time you bring aboard any life form that you consult with me first.
Right?
It's very valuable. That you've got right, Captain. I'm sort of sitting in
Any
the corner with one of the bunnies, feeding it something.
any other life forms I should be know about? I should know about.
Well, I now there's a conflict.
How come?
Doctor-patient confidence. Confidentiality, I think it's called.
Excuse me?
I'll be right back, and I'll go walk off to find Dalu.
I look
Oh.
around the medical bay for
Oh.
more vermin.
Sure,
Rats
make me
and
a notice perception, not just
birds.
wisdom check. Well, you're pretty sure that the only things you see scurrying around are rabbits or bunnies.
How many?
2.5. I have no idea what the half means. He never told me, but
Half an ear,
There's-
so it's like 2.8 bunnies.
Okay,
I
half a
was-
year.
I was imagining that there were like 2 bunnies, but there was significantly more bunny per bunny than nature intended.
Not
I
yet.
also looked up the gestation period. I'm not sure how
Yes,
to pronounce that.
gestation.
And apparently it's about a month, so we've got some time.
Bunnies?
Yeah,
What's about the month? Sorry.
the gestation period of bunnies.
Are you still in
Oh.
their lands in the room with the bunnies?
Yes.
Make me well, basic insight check, which I think is also notice perception, not just wisdom. If I remember the rules correctly.
Are they different genders?
You look into the tiny eyes of the rabbits. You're so cute, you're so fluffy. Your little wobbly ear that is not quite here. Alright. Yeah. I think somebody wanted to find Dal.
Yeah, I guess.
Middle did, yeah.
But it was more to get out of the room, but I'll find him anyway.
Mhm.
Hey, Dalu.
Hey.
Still
Yeah,
drinking coffee?
he's just like meditating again.
Oh,
Everything alright?
yeah. I just remembered something and I'll forget it soon. Is there any chance there's something in your arm?
Sorry? In my inside
Yes.
it? What do you mean?
Yes. Never mind. I'll look into it.
Well, I don't want to go to bed and just think I have something in my arm. Is there something on the bioscanner that just came up?
It's more a theory, but don't
Okay.
worry. We'll figure this out. Bye.
Hey, I'm not gonna
I
say
see you
anything.
figured out the direction you want to take Winolin.
Because you're just leaving me in the room with like a now existential sense of dread of like this.
Like, hey Captain, can I take a bioscanner? Beep. Hmm. Bye!
A humanoid sized parasite living inside your body. Wow. Cool.
Is Winnel coming
Alright.
back to the med bay?
So like, yeah, serious bioscanner question. Does it give you X-rays?
Sure.
Could I do? Well, I already did that.
I mean, it wouldn't do. Let's say it can give X-ray, not as good as like a machine in a medbay, but sure. Let's say it can't like do a proper like MRT or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's a bit too small for that. But sure.
Okay. No, I'll just gonna need
You
a
can
bigger scanner.
irradiate your teammates as much as you want.
No, I'll find something, some new toy.
Alright. Anything else before you leave for Rella?
I'm
Yeah.
sure there's something that'll come back to bite us in the ass. Oh,
Yes. Where did we put the
Ether,
book?
Ether
Sorry, go
is, I think we put it in a crate, and Ether wanted it welded shut, just for the time being.
Yeah, let's just say
So-
you spend like the couple hours that you're throwing away from the rocks, just properly welding it from some scrap pieces.
Yeah, I hope no one objects to that. It's just she's a little paranoid that this, magic, possibly sentient book is going to mind control someone into retrieving it and doing bad stuff with it. It just seems like the kind of thing that would happen. Also,
I've been touching
also-
it pretty. I've been browsing a bit through it. Not that I could read any of it.
oh right, yes. Well, I'm sure it'll only. Captain, I could make a very, very rude comment here. Very rude joke about your intelligence and mind. It needing a
do.
mind to control one, but I shall just leave that unsaid. Anyway,
Wait.
right. Just so we don't forget, Dalu or whoever is handling this part of things, if you would, please do remember, once we have submitted proof of the decommissioning of this station, to delete all traces thereof on our storage devices, lest,
Oh,
they
yeah,
later
good
be used
idea. Yeah,
against us.
I'll wait until yeah, when we're done with it. Yeah, 100%. Good idea. I don't suppose we have any other physical evidence other than like the book, for instance, do we?
No one should know about the book other than us for now.
Yeah, that's good.
We still have the toilet paper in the cargo hold, but I don't think they're going to be able to differentiate between vampire toilet paper and regular toilet paper.
Anything else we could merely have bought from whoever decommissioned the station.
Oh, sure.
But actual footage of it happening would be a little suspect.
I mean, suspect to whom, but I think the government here wants this, so...
Oh, certainly, but I mean, there is a risk of us. If this space is truly likely to be taken over by the Order of the Red Dawn, then should we find ourselves in the territory while that happens, there's a chance of us being interdicted by a vessel.
Sure, but wasn't this one a rogue one that they wanted decommissioned anyway? Like, the Red Dawn, they already have their hands in the government. I think that's...
Well, I mean, yes, but also,
Sorry.
but from time to time,
Doesn't have to be
governments will have rival factions, and they might hate each other. But if someone else should dare to interfere with one of them, then they would certainly team up against it. It just pays to be safe.
Makes sense.
So,
Sounds good to me.
fun question. If the Red Order takes over here, is that good or bad? Do we care?
We are not part of any government. We are our own business.
Everyone in this crew can presumably reserve their right to have their personal opinions in their own time about such matters.
Exactly.
I mean, sure, but it is a good question to be asking ourselves. Unless we want to dip. And even then, it might be a decent question to be asking yourself.
I suspect that all the governments in this area of space are just about equally nasty, really.
But that one I agree with.
Well,
My babies.
just a little bit close to home, that's why I'm asking.
What, literally?
You're from here, Wenel?
No. But my
No.
home is not far, so it's like next sector around.
I thought you were, you know. She makes a, racially insensitive gesture at her ears.
So,
I mean, that's still not very far. This is the border region between the two.
Well, certainly, but they seem more than capable of. Well, I mean, sorry, that might just be the book being biased, but I thought that,
They're just as
neither
capable.
faction wanted to.
yeah, just I get the feeling if they go unchecked, they'll expand as much as they can.
I'm not
Is there
sure
not-
a group of random mercenaries or whatever we are is exactly the thing to keep the Red Dawn in check. That seems a little. I'm not even sure what the correct word is. I think you'd be delusional to believe we could.
I'm just asking for your opinion.
My
'Cause
opinion
I've-
is I don't like it. I don't like governments, so.
Oh, because I get the distinct feeling we'll have to pick a side if we want to or not, sooner than later.
I don't think we are enlisting in any army soon enough. We're just as Lance said, a business, a group of savages.
Salvages, are we?
If it did come to that, I would personally be inclined to distrust the Order of the Red Dawn more than I would be to distrust the local government, simply due to the fact that it has greater power and thus can more easily suppress any dissent from its populace. We see here on this planet, well, sorry, she doesn't use the term planet, of course, because this isn't Starswell
Island.
It's quite.
Island, yeah.
Yes. We see here on this island that the government is genuinely struggling with suppressing dissent from what seems to be honestly quite a small group of its own citizens. Whereas, had it been the Order, I suspect we would have seen a more draconian response, assuming things ever got this far. Thus, I would prefer the government with less power to oppress its own population. But that is, of course, my own opinion.
I like that perspective. But also, Arella is so big. I was actually wondering about that. How small or large this movement truly is. Because on an isle that large with that many inhabitants, if the movement is that small, then I'm sure there are basically tons of different movements just like it from the other side of the spectrum too.
Are you sure?
Fran's KGB agent has noted it down.
Oh yeah, I've been promoted, by the way.
But one of my. Yeah.
I mean, either way, I think you both are right. There are probably more people dissatisfied with the situation, and I think we just made all of them our friends or not. I mean, they'll know it was us. Just saying, watch your back.
You go stealing, you get got. I guess. I'm curious.
Which is a good point. From now on, for a while, I'll look like this, and I'll turn myself into a very old man. Make myself look like an old man.
That's a bad idea.
Let's go for human.
Suppose you've gotten past the cat stage, have you? Your cat phase?
No, I'll always go cat. Once you go cat, you don't never go back.
I don't like it. You've been seen in our company and as a member of this crew. on the island already in your previous guise. If you show up in a different guise, people might put two and two together. It is not as though flesh warpers are entirely unknown.
You have a point. Should I turn you all then into something else? Wait, I can't do that yet. Okay.
We look at each other after the word "yet" gets dropped.
We'll talk again when I can do it, okay? And then I'll drop it.
How many tentacles would you like today? 3 only? How boring. Alright. Anything else?
All to normal.
Alright. So, kind of spread around with your cups of coffee. Some of you go grab a welding torch. Some of you start playing a course back for Rella. Melanie, you make me a mental saving throw. No, not you, Aether. You're different characters. Sorry about that.
I mean,
I'm still
it's
getting
probably
used
for the
to
better.
names.
It's probably for the better. But Ether's is better than mine.
Ether is hard to beat.
Alright. Yeah. So you, Lance, you go back to the bridge, switch off to manual, and honestly, like, just spend the next couple hours, like one hand on control, steering wheel, whatever it's gonna be, just getting your party out of the island cluster before you get the open space and you can punch the gas a little bit harder, I guess. And really, honestly, at that point, you can just switch the autopilot that just calls, your course basically again, and until your proximity system alerts you to any arrivals, it's just a lot of empty air around. Yeah, so you spend the next 2 days chilling about, like doing some cleaning, moving that fancy sofa around a couple more times. Like, I told you we're gonna put it here. No, we're gonna put it in another corner. No, let's bring it to the second floor. But yeah, still not too much to do. Not much salvage this time to sort through. Not much to prepare for your arrival. So mostly just like a rest downtime period for all of you. Have actually any ideas that downtime period is quite appropriate. But if not, then what is it? Evening of April 22. You approach Aurela close enough that Lance, you kind of have to go back into manual control again and hopefully get Dalu on the comms just to be safe. And as you come like within visual range of the island, and it's late, so you mostly just see the slightly like darker a strip of island against the sky, and like surrounding the island floating above, and the ruins below, and like the strip of lights, especially like those bright lights that dominate the port line basically. You get your communication from Aurela port control, who mostly gets you through the same procedures previously. I assume you have no, like, it's just submitting your cargo manifest again, yada yada yada. However, as you do wait in line basically for them to check all of that and give you your approach vector, your onboard computer connects to the local network and begins downloading messages and news, which I will show to you in a moment. Sadly, the part I did was done right, but Roll20 fucked it up. So, yeah, doesn't look as good as I hoped it would look. You also get a personal message for Captain Rubber.
From who?
Captain what?
Captain Rubber? Rubber?
Robber.
What?
What's your last name, Miles?
Ruber.
Ruber, yeah, sure.
Ruber.
Captain Ruber.
Okay.
It's red in
Captain
Latin.
Rubbish.
Alright. For Captain Rubbish. There's no like sender, but it does have the code of a real garment. So what would you like to start with the message or the rest of the news?
Well,
Let's start with the message.
Actually, I'm gonna
Sure.
turn the news on while you guys just check the news out. Project screen. Actually, I think it doesn't matter. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter.
Right. So
Where
while
did you-
that's running, it's over here. If you see the ping.
oh, it's on the. Oh, okay. I was looking for a
Ah.
handout. Yeah, gotcha.
Be right back.
Yeah, it's
Cool.
preferred for you to wait for like the message to completely switch, just to make sure you catch the start of it. Because if I remember correctly, it starts for everybody at a different point in animation, not at the start. So yeah, Owenthal went off. All right, so yeah, so like after scanning, should be good. And as you see, Roll20 has completely fucked up some of the slides. It's like preview compression level. I have some ideas how to. Well, I can't fix it, so I have some ideas how to do it differently, but I didn't obviously have time to do it today. So I'm just gonna drop proper high resolution version in Discord that you can just like open and it will just work.
Nice.
Yeah. Kyle, everything okay? Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. So the message you get is like a voicemail. And are you playing it in public or in private?
Go private.
Right. So you go off to Captain Quarters, close the door, and play button on your compad, and you hear the voice of Elijah going. Captain Rabba, when you return to Orella, give me a call. I have good news for you. That's end of message.
Can I call with this with the compad? Is that
Yeah,
what
that's
it's
a
called?
phone.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay, a phone. Yeah. So I'm gonna call with.
Yeah,
the
you're like close enough to the island that you have connected local network as shown by your thingy, or like your com scanner, not com scanner, but your server, com server has connected, and you're connected to the server. But yeah, you can give him a call.
I'll dial.
You like wait for a little bit as the connection goes through, and you hear, "Hello."
Hello, Elijah. Speaking. Captain Miles Ruber speaking.
Ah, Captain Ruba. It is good to hear from you.
It's good to. I received your message, and it's was good to hear that you wanted my attention. How can I help?
Ah, yes. Well, for beginners, I was looking forward to your report on the outcome of your salvaging operation. Has it been processed completely?
Oh, indeed, very successful.
Completely scrapped, as per contract.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
That is wonderful news. As soon as you transmit me the proof of job complete, I will make sure that the funds are transferred to your account. And as for our second point of business, I am happy to announce that your business suggestion has been accepted. It has been reviewed and acted upon, and great outcome for us has been achieved. So for your dedication and help, you are awarded a bounty of 5,000 credits that will be transmitted to you along with the rest of the funds.
Much appreciation. Thank you very much. I'm always
Thank you.
glad to cooperate.
And I am hoping that this is just a beginning of a very, very long friendship. Working situation. In any case, if your crew is free for more deployments, you can always come to see me. I have a couple ideas in mind, but it was nice working with you in any case.
I'll keep that in mind. Thank you, and hope to see you soon.
Same, Captain, same.
Right, I come back to the bridge. Well, I haven't have anything interesting on the news. I haven't got the chance to read.
It was a raid.
Yup. They picked them up.
Apparently
Then a
10
couple-
people, more than we saw. But there was no bloodshed.
That's great.
Official version.
Fabulous. No bloodshed is great. Some other great news. We will have a bonus of 5,000 credits added to our sum.
Is that for reporting the crime?
It's a bonus.
So that's a yes.
It's a bonus.
Sure. Also, it looks like the green bottles are being audited. Hey, out of character, I actually have a question for that news statement. The person we met was Philo, right? Not Phildo. Okay, good. So he hasn't like died in a mysterious racing accident.
No. It's just me coming up with news and I'm like, oh yeah, we just accidentally used another name, let's use it here.
Okay. And Mr. Greenbottle is being audited. I'm certain completely unrelated to what just happened with the weapon. But yeah, fun new news for sure. But I think we can just head in and spend the night in the ship, and then you can go see your friend tomorrow. And yeah, I think if you guys don't mind, I think I might know a guy who's very well connected around here, and he might be able to lead me the right direction, or lead us the right direction when it comes to someone who's an expert on curious artifacts, like the one we picked up. I'm not sure if he knows someone, but he might. I'm not sure if we want to inquire, but...
Lance,
yeah.
were you not the one who recommended this green bottle?
I recommend pretty much all green bottles across, yeah? But I know this one too, yeah? Or I knew him before from racing. I'm not recommending the person who's gonna know people. I just say I know a guy. And he's well connected, so at least on here, so he might know an arcane expert. I can't speak for the character of that person, but that's something we can judge for ourselves. I'm just asking if you would like me to look, because I'm decent at that, or if you want to keep it in a box when we came back for it specifically, and you almost died for it. I personally want to know what it is and what it does, because I believe it lives and is sentient, and I want to know what the fuck is going on.
How about you introduce him to us before we decide if to present to him this book?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Maybe we could gather a bit more information first.
How are you gonna gather information on something like this? You think you'll find something in the library?
I was going, regardless, to see a specialist about, and she holds up her hands.
Who, by the way, over the last 2 days, since you've asked for any help, have not healed at all.
I mean, you not exactly accepting help from the doc doesn't exactly make me, like, trust your judgment that much either. So, just putting that one out there. He's always fixed up everything I had.
He's a weirdo and he's a bunny butcher.
Right here.
Yes. Winnell, you are a weirdo and a bunny butcher.
I know that, but I also know you need help, so...
Well, yes.
That's a bit weird, too.
Look, this island...
Yeah.
Winnell. Okay, I'm going to put out a series of statements, and you can tell me when you disagree with something. This island is one of the biggest settlements in the plane of air. Big settlements draw specialists. Specialists including, say, academy staff. They have been known in the past to be interested in curiosities. Now, I could just say that I came into contact with what I think might have been a necromantic item of some description and then left it the fuck alone after I got hurt, which, would have been a very sensible thing to do. They don't need to know that I brought it with me. I'm perfectly willing to pay for it out of my own share if need be, but I want a specialist to take a look at this regardless, and you are not a specialist, no matter how many
fair warning. You deal with the academy, you give them your finger, they're gonna not take your arm, they're gonna take you entirely.
I think that's not a good thing to say when her arm needs treatment. I think that's the bedside manner thing.
That's exactly what I mean, because she needs treatment for it.
I'm confused.
The academy is filled with pricks, filled with people looking out for themselves and their personal glory, and that's all they're interested in. You give them a lead like this, if it actually interests them, they're never gonna leave you alone.
Look,
I studied at the academy. Let me tell you, I know the kind of people that, so gloriously graduated from it.
Lance, I'm not some blushing virgin when it comes to things of arcane nature. Look, I know. I know. No, I'm also not that kind of blushing virgin, Captain. I have 2 children, thank you very much. But regardless, be that as it may, look, I know they're going to be self-interested assholes. Everyone in the profession is. But they're self-interested assholes who know things and who care about getting more information. If I'm an interesting enough case to study me, then in exchange for studying, they might shed some light on the situation. Look, what else do you propose?
No, it sounds like a good idea. I just wanted to give you a warning with the academy people, but I'm sure you know your stuff. That's very clear from the things you know your stuff on. Just a friendly warning not to get too comfortable with the people.
Yeah, and look, Winnell, I don't mean to fight you. I know that you know your stuff on some things. You're perfectly capable when it comes to replacing limbs that have been mangled in mundane accidents, I take it, and
Thank you.
changing
Nothing mundane
people's
about that accident.
changing people's faces and turning into a cat. Strange, but yes. But look, this is necromancy, right? We can all agree on that much, at least. And it's a scary book in a glass case, and it withered my hands, Captain. It's necromancy.
I was agreeing.
And okay, fantastic. And just necromancy has a nasty little habit of turning the rules upside down, healing magic, killing you, and other nasty things. So I just really would prefer a specialist taking a look at me first.
Sure.
And then if they say that it's perfectly safe to consult a mundane healer, then yes, I would love for you to take a look at it. We're not.
We have very different definitions of mundane healers, personally, but
You do
Well,
know
not,
that
not mundane. I'm not going to go to some kind of saw butcher. I'm not a savage.
but you remember the part where your whole body was black, right?
What?
Your body was black. You were laying on the ground. I already healed you. You don't
Look-
remember. Okay, that's fine. Go to your specialist and then get better. But I think you shouldn't go alone.
Oh, that definitely is true.
So, if you either wanted to do this kind of thing, find someone who might know something. This is the kind of thing which would be a connect check,
Yes.
right? Fantastic. I actually have that skill. Hooray! I know that Lance will be better at it, but I have the skill.
So we're definitely doing that one, yeah?
would you like
That
the
option.
name of an academy prick that lives here that might know other academy pricks? I could help you that way if you like.
Oh yes. Anything you know.
Name dropping competition. Go.
Okay. Should I connect roll to help her find her expert?
Sure.
We'll also need a name.
Is that charisma?
Sure.
It doesn't matter anyway. Like, so, even with a +2, so I give her the biggest asshole. So
It's-
turns out to not know anyone.
It's fine. You're just burning the bad dice.
I am.
So should I also do a connect charisma?
Sure.
Okie dokie. Oh no, didn't burn all of them. Since that necromancers don't advertise in the newspapers, who'd have thought?
Well,
So
Might
weird.
have been a bit
it's a-
different if the
you
Red Dawn
get-
was in charge.
like you collect to the local net, you get a really good list of like local mundane healers, but you do find a doctor, but he's a doctor of necromancy, and then you can like
Right.
click it open and you go like, oh right, no, that's not the kind of guy I need. That's like exactly the opposite kind of guy I need. And there are a lot of people who like, you know, like, isn't there like a doctor who works with hands specifically? Like a professional like that. Doesn't matter, but like there's a lot of doctors like that deal with like blood vessels, with bones, with other stuff that could take a look, but
How does a settlement of this size, Aether's going to complain, not have any more respectable, well-known necromancers? How do they function as a society?
Personal guess is the Red Dawn gobbles them all up, so they aren't available in other places.
People take very little interest in necromancy if they don't use it as a tool, and they see it as something as forbidden or disgusting.
Oh yeah, no, I know. As I've said before, the enthusiasts are weird, and I do not want to deal with them. But the professionals would think you'd be able to. Oh well, guess
You know, you only have to pay one of those enthusiasts and they become a professional, technically. So, you might try that. Maybe it'll turn their lives around. But no. And I gave Erky a call, and he said he didn't really know of anyone that studied at the academy that's currently here, so can't help you either.
How about if you already talked about connections, you maybe help Dalu with his problem?
We've already discussed that, yeah, about how we are. I mean, I can do that now and give my friend another call, ask him a couple of questions if he's. I'm not sure he's the right person for that, but he might know someone else that knows a thing or two about that. I don't know.
Is that alright with you, Dalu? You've been awfully quiet.
I've been just paying attention. I like the ideas. I mean, essentially, there was just 3 ways of going to people, and first was just staying with Winnell, with the con being, when in regards to Aether, you know, him hurting himself with the book or doing something wrong, trying to heal Aether, and then there was going with the Aether's idea, which just seemed pretty good, so I like that one. Going to the academy. I don't know if they're real full of pricks, but I mean,
Lucia
Lance,
said, okay, of course she is. I love her
Yeah.
dearly, but most people there are fucking assholes.
I went to the academy when I went into Plane of Air, and I just immediately just used them as a tool. So
Oh,
I guess you're right in when it comes to me. So like that means I can't really disagree. And then the other idea, using your contact, the only thing was just, you know, if we're talking about going all these people, and like that one seems the most private, but then yeah, Etha's right, we don't know anything about your contact at all. Or in regards to Etha's problem with her arms, that seems quite serious.
By the
So
way,
maybe,
Isa, like,
yeah.
speaking about your hands, like, it's not like they're like getting blacker and blacker every day, but you definitely feel like that they're cold, like the hand temperature is colder than it's normal, and the senses in them are not very, like, not as sharp as they used to be. And
Oh, yeah, no,
you
no,
get
I've
some
noticed that,
swelling
yes.
about your joints, so it's not getting much worse, but it's not getting better.
So it's sort of at the level where honestly she doesn't really know if it's getting better or worse or staying the same.
Let's go with the slowly getting worse.
Okay.
right, so
But,
that's our top priority then.
Like, it's not that it's urgent, like you don't think you're gonna lose your arms like tomorrow if you don't go to the doctor, but considering that you might go on a couple of weeks mission where you don't have a doctor.
Yeah. Look, if we can't find anyone, then I guess I'll.
When you don't have a normal doctor.
If you can't find an expert, you will settle, is what you're trying to say?
Yes, I will sit. Look,
Wow, I'm so relieved. That was an excellent trust exercise for this crew.
Still confused.
Captain, what?
And I'm very cynical at times, I'm sorry.
You do fan the flames.
well, maybe if the academy won't work too well, we can go to your contact.
Well,
Even
we
for
can find
Etha's.
it.
Yeah,
We can
exactly.
find
Just if we're just gonna leave it there, we can't do that much more. We can go to your contact, Lance.
Oh, we
In
can
regards
absolutely
to
find more.
helping me, I mean, I that's what I want, but we don't need to push this. I don't know this region, so that's why I needed you guys. But we don't. I think sorting out this book and then eat this thing is way more important, as was said.
I mean,
So-
same person can maybe answer those questions or somewhat answer them. Who
Mhm.
knows?
But that was Etha's first point, which is that this contact yours. I mean, we don't have enough information on the book or the problem with Ether or your contact. Do you feel that this person's safe enough?
Erky? I mean, he's an academy fellow, so naturally he's an asshole. But he's usually on point with the information he gives. That's what I can tell you. He's
Mm-hmm.
not the nicest fellow I've ever met, but he enjoys money.
Let's just do that then.
Enjoys.
Listen to
Does
all you
some
guys.
other
It's like
shit, but
I'm quite. You guys are making the good decisions, but all in all, I think it's just way I work. So you just pick a decision that works as long as it's on the down low. That's all. I'm used to working and on the down low. So this guy, it's only one person, so I'm
Yeah.
happy with that.
yeah.
If captain is, he is.
You know what? You could actually help me if you could like put together just the kind of profile anyone who was looking for this let's call it bounty hunter or assassin would have, or like any general information on yourself, basically, just not you. If you could put that in a small file that I could send him, then that'll
Mhm.
give him a lot of info to work with too.
So so contacts that would have been related to
No. Just like, okay, he's about this tool. He's about this color of eyes. He looks about like this.
Oh,
You
so
can
just
maybe,
just details from myself. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and like the potential profession you suspect that he's
Oh,
following.
yeah.
That kind of shit.
Yeah. Sure.
Could I potentially have him use that programming to help on a connect roll?
Sure.
Or to get information. Do you want to do 2 separate connect rolls for the arcane expert and for if he knows anyone that...
Can't you already... Wasn't that who you were looking for? Oh, you were looking for
No, that's
Arcane
the
Doctor.
doctor.
First.
Arcane
Yeah.
Doctor. And this time I'm basically looking for more of the sage type of person who might know about artifacts. And I'm trying to do this through my middle connect man, but...
And you're trying to find a guy who might know what the book does, right?
Yeah, that's one role, and the other role would be, or what I think would be the other role would be to see if Dalu's twin brother or whatever is in the files anywhere or is being looked for around here. If I send that profile, if my man knows him or not, or like knows someone who knows him or not.
Yeah, there definitely would be different ones. Okay.
You said yes to using allowing a program for
well,
an aid.
let's do the Sage first, because it's a straight roll.
Can anybody help me with any of this? Do you have any
No.
ideas? No helping?
You specifically mentioned that it's only the guy you know, so...
I can lead him to you.
Oh, well then let's... I guess it doesn't matter which set I choose, so... 9.
Right, and do the second one now.
And does he need to roll program first?
Yes.
To help?
Yeah, here you go.
Does that help?
No.
Okay.
No. Hey. So, funnily enough, as like Issa is going through her stuff, and you, Lance, are kind of like helping, you get that discarded note about the Doctor of Necromancy that she couldn't use. But you're like checking, you're like, well, I mean, here's a Doctor of Necromancy. It was a necromantic trap in a vampire tomb.
So maybe I ask Urki about him if he knows anything on him, and he says go for it.
He's gonna say like, if you're looking for a necromancer that has nothing to do with the Red Order, this is your best chance.
This is the best chance.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna.
Well, he's also gonna mention, I mean, there are others, but let's put it that way, we're not good enough friends that I would be risking introducing you to them.
Certainly. Not even for money.
Sorry, really hard to put a price on this. It's more in terms of favors.
Yeah. Well, you know what? The next time I race again, I'll tell you so you know who to bet on, and then you'll owe me a favor afterwards again, okay?
Yeah, as if knowing not to bet on one guy out of 12 is gonna help my bets much.
Excuse me, how many have I won? Just because of a couple crashes here and there, that doesn't...
He just like looks at you. That's cybernetics?
No.
Right. Well,
Better.
sounds to me like you know a guy already, so...
Okay. And then I'll like give him the profile too, and check if he knows anyone, or if that name is in any of his lists or databases, or if he knows like a bounty hunter who's looking for this dude or anything like that.
He says he's gonna run it through his, like, basic academy database,
Mm-hmm.
and come back to you in a couple of days.
Could we transfer the proof through...
I assume you've already done that?
Okay. Yeah, because... Okay, yeah. So how much did we get?
Well...
I think you'll go to the meeting for that, right? Hmm?
Well, there isn't a promised meeting. There's supposed to be a transaction and a potential side quest if we were to go
So,
to
have
them
you
yet.
spent the night already?
I think, well, yeah, let's assume it's morning
Ah,
of the
alright.
23rd. I will detract shit.
In that
I am
case...
concerned.
Hmm? Yeah?
I am concerned about the question.
Which one?
No, just you asking about if we've spent the night yet.
I'm just asking how much time basically has passed, because... You know,
We
like...
barely know each other.
Oh, no, God, no, not like that, you dumbass.
Spend the
No.
night together? No.
What? Oh, for heaven's sake, no. I'm talking about Aether being a walking time bomb.
Oh,
Oh, you naughty people! You're sleeping on the same ship, aren't you? I mean,
All of you are way too young for her.
Aether being a walking time bomb? What are you talking about? There's nothing wrong with Aether. I mean, her
Wait,
arms
haven't-
are falling off, but...
so, did
Also,
you settle
the
for
one with the
Winnel?
explosives.
Explosives?
Oh, I suppose he's an elf, so it's a bit weird.
Who's an elf?
Winnel.
Oh, right.
Off.
It's close enough.
What
You're
about
half the elf you used to be.
So he's a quarter elf?
Right, I think I completely lost.
I'm asking if
Yes.
Aether has
What?
Settled for Winnel's treatment.
Oh.
Yeah, we can try. If he's willing.
Alright. So,
Um,
I assume you're doing that in the morning, basically, the treatment? After you haven't found a doctor, you wake up, you wake up and like when you sleep on your arm, you can't feel it for a while. And it's like that, but it lasts like for a whole fucking 5 minutes. And you spend a couple of minutes in the shower just having your arms massaging them under hot water before you actually start feeling them again, and you're like, alright, if this keeps going, I'm not gonna be good at fixing shit much, so...
Yeah, let's try to minimize the nerve damage.
Yeah. All right. So before you go to Winnow, let's say Miles, you do get a transfer to. Let's say since you've been working with Elijah and he doesn't really know any other, to your private account, and you get a transfer of 30,000 credits, of which 5,000 are cited as consulting fees, and 25,000 are salvage cut.
Right, and I don't know if there's a
We have a joint
Brew?
bank account.
joint bank account. Okay, so yeah, I'll transfer the
The
money to
ships.
there.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can basically say there's just like account associated with your ship, basically.
Yeah, that sounds
With
good.
Fable.
You can even set up an auto payment for your maintenance on that account. No, you can't. You
I
just need to go on the
actually
dock.
calculated how much it costs us a day to keep this ship running. And
How
how
much?
much
Which
we
is?
need to
About
make. It's
maintenance.
170 credits per day.
Including
Maintenance.
what?
No, then it's 270.
Yeah, so
Did
like
we ever fix that?
that's a
up
lot
damage?
of money.
No, not yet, but we
You
can.
haven't?
No, we have. We have.
Yeah, I
Because
think
we
you
had
did
the
it last time.
And we I
Okay.
used up our funds for it, or like this thing we had.
Good.
Yeah.
But you get another 30k on top, and yeah. Speaking of which, you might consider like getting a vehicle on your ship, because
yeah,
not
racer.
everywhere you go, there might be a rental service.
Yeah, let's get a racer for me. Yes, excellent. I
Although to
will
be
look
fair,
into
like getting a vehicle of sufficient utility is not gonna be cheap. Getting a ground car is not that useful.
Mm.
The moment you said it, I pictured like a Segway. I don't know why.
I
This
mean,
brings
like
me-
something
this
like
brings-
hover cycles or grav car would be extremely useful. But yeah,
So this brings me back to like years and years to when I played in a 2-year long Rogue Trader campaign, and we decided that we had like shipboard segways because like Warhammer 40k ships are just stupid long.
oh
So
yeah, your
they
ship
had
is not
to,
that
like-
big. Yeah,
We need Segways anyway.
I mean, you're welcome to buy one.
They're not that expensive.
Or is this probably just gonna be the cargo lifter thing? They just
I mean,
don't know.
you can buy a grav with like grav, yeah, cargo hauler. That's another
Yeah.
good purchase you can make.
Different
Oh.
question. What percentage of the 30k do we want to pay out to individuals for individual things now? Another 1k per person, which is another 5k out into personal accounts. Or what do you guys think? More, less, more?
I don't think more. This is fine for now.
For you, yes. What did the others think? I don't use
Not
much.
much for me needed.
I mean, you actually have the most cool shit you can go buy as a
Yeah.
programmer. So, but we will. I think we fund
Okay.
that. We fund those because we profit from those.
Do you want then to perhaps distribute around 2k credits per each? If Winner wants
Ooh.
more, I don't
No,
mind.
I don't
Was
even
that a
buy things.
Okay,
So-
that was a joke. Okay, how about we do 1k again? Everyone can put 1,000 into there. That's basically the personal share that we are giving out to everyone.
Awesome.
Which still leaves us with a bit of money for resupply and so on, which is quite a bit. And I will, until next session, check out what we might be buying for the rest and make suggestions.
Smuggler's
And
Hold.
This is a completely out of character comment, but I'm totally gonna save up all my money until I can buy like a shipboard weapon and just be like, "Hi, I brought this. I would like it installed."
Yeah, I'm looking
That
at the
sounds cool.
stuff as well.
That's
Well,
the
the
payout
fittings?
you're gonna be getting. It's gonna take you a while to buy a shipboard weapon.
Nope.
Maybe a little while. But no, you're not allowed to fire the cannon. It is my cannon.
That's like 100k is the cheapest for a proper weapon.
I need to wait until I can buy myself a hover.
I just want Issa to drag a torpedo launcher onto the ship, but it goes boom.
Okay. Yeah.
Issa comes, bringing a mech cannon to the ship. Captain, I'd like a ship built around it, please.
I'm sure she wouldn't do that.
Yeah, you're never gonna get that much money.
Okay.
So let's do the healing.
Yeah, let's do the healing.
5 million Mark cannon. Alright. Healing, yes. So how do you proceed about that?
I don't want any bunnies attached to me. I would ideally like not to have any grafts from any other creature.
Okay, would you... I think the only thing that's gonna work is a healing spell, but I could offer you lift. It's not gonna work, but you could, if you don't like the magic, you could try it first.
What?
Drugs.
I think drugs.
No, try the magic. It's fine. Try the magic.
Okay, then I'll try the magic and cast reinforced tissue. It's at second level.
Okay.
46. I don't know how hurt she is, but whatever.
Alright.
See what happens.
By the way, this is gonna be your second point of system strain because you couldn't recover your previous one. Because you would... and how many hit points are you missing right now?
I am missing 13.
13. So this would basically get you up to full if it works, right?
It does take me to full.
Yeah, fine. It does take you to full as you kind of like start feeling that tingling sensation, like your hands are being like pricked by 1,000 needles, and you go ow, ow, ow. But you can almost visibly see like the pale white skin on her arms kind of like becoming pinker and redder as like blood flow returns, and while like based according to the bioscanner that you're using, the circulation in her hands is normalizing. To you, it just brings a lot more pain as the nerves kind of start working again, and those swollen joints, it's gonna take days before those go.
All right. But it looks like visibly better as well, or
Well, let's say you like sit there for like half an hour as he observes you, and you just like you yourself notice as your hands go from white to like blotchy pink. So that's an improvement, I guess.
improvement.
When blood flows, you can't expect to have very little blood in your hands for like 3 days and started working again now. I don't know, I'm not a
Yeah.
doctor.
All right. Well, that did not go as catastrophically as it possibly could have. I should be grateful for that. Thank you, Winnow.
If it's not fast enough, we can try an infusion if you like, but
No. I think
That
I think
would-
we're good.
involve needles. No, you're good? Okay.
Okay, I think we're good. Yes, thank you.
Okay, take it slow.
Well,
Then
I mean, really, at this point, it's like I don't know what you guys want to do now. Like, you have
there's
the
the-
news.
Let's go visit a doctor, shall we?
No, there's going either to Elijah picking up a side quest or a main quest, I don't know. There's going to. I wanted to ask you, Dan, before
Yes.
Etha's suggestion to maybe go and read something about this language. Do I recognize the language
We've
or the
made
script?
a roll for it, and you didn't like
And I did recognize it. Okay.
didn't.
Yeah. So I don't know
Yeah.
what it is. So yeah, so maybe going to a library or a information source to check on that. And there's also the
Personal guess, the necromancy doctor, or doctor of necromancy rather, we're about to visit. Likely, if he knows about this, he might also be familiar with the script. If you just want to show him, like, not the book, but an excerpt.
I'll
If you
Can
copy
I?
something down,
Yeah,
take a
I want
picture.
to copy the first paragraph.
Don't read
Can
it
I
out
tell
loud.
if it's a paragraph?
You
I
can
mean,
talk
if you
about-
wanna do that, you need to go to Issa first because she needs to unweld the book.
I mean, she can do that.
But I'm the designated idiot that's allowed to touch it.
Would just like for everyone to sort of be present and consenting to this happening.
Sure.
Didn't we establish that we are not gonna touch it and Lance is gonna do his whatever Lance is doing? You can?
Bye.
Oh, okay.
It's sentient.
Oh,
I
shit.
can't. I think it is, but it can't. I can't touch it telekinetically.
Okay. Keep forgetting.
Unfortunately, it bothers me
Yeah, just for
greatly, to be
reference, we shouldn't rely on Tao to come back anytime soon, so he's
that
went
is-
to a bunker.
Mhm.
That is inconvenient. Because he. Let's go look for that.
I think he's the most inconvenienced, so
Yes. Let's go. Let's assume this happened, and we have like a page or like a bit of the script, just a tiny bit, a copy of it. Is that
right?
doable?
So you
We don't need to touch it to open it, really. We can
I-
like.
I would suggest that we do two things here. Or rather, I would suggest that we do one thing, but for no two reasons. That we copy disparate glyphs from all over the page. One, to not give away the contents of the book in case this is information we wish to conceal, and two, just in case bad things happen when magic words are transcribed.
Or said out loud by the person
Yes.
reading them. Yeah,
Yes,
sure.
just basic precautions when dealing with.
Sounds good to me. It's not a coherent sentence. We just take like a word from here and or what looks like a word from here and a word from there, or even individual letters, and that's it. And then we.
But I assume you unweld the box, you
Yes.
open the
Yes.
book.
With
Give Miles some
Yeah,
gloves,
with a
plastic
stick,
gloves,
a stick
like
from
the thin ones.
A stick from a distance. Not a long distance, but a distance.
and we have Miles read it because Miles has read it already, and if he can do the transcribing because he looked at it already. So if it's rotted his brain, it's already done. So
Alright, no, 1 second.
Then when we have that, we will go and see the doctor of necromancy. Which is still unfortunate if we don't have Tal here. Whatever.
Oh, oi.
Wait.
Alright,
Trying-
are you all going together to visit the doctor?
Yep.
Are
And-
we
I assume
leaving
so.
this here?
Hmm?
Are we leaving the book?
think we're welding it back in, right?
Aether will start welding it back on as soon as the book's been put back, unless someone protests.
No.
No.
Weld it back in, and then we
Yeah.
close up the ship.
Fun thing. So like as you were opening the box and got the book out of it for a bit, read it, like especially you, Ether, you notice that like there's quite a lot of like like those pieces of metal that would have fallen into the box as you were welding it up and then cutting it open, because they fell on the book. But there's absolutely not a single burn on the book.
Okay. Do we have cameras, surveillance in the ship?
I don't think
Imagine
so.
so.
Sorry?
No.
No, really.
They have like auto sensors, but I'd say installing like camera in every single room would be one of the fittings, like one of the security fittings. Like again, your
What
ship
about like
is
one webcam?
like
Bookcam.
your ship is like minimum completion, like what you got, like it's the cheapest version of a car basically. So you have like auto sensor camera and door camera.
Can
So
we
in the
go buy a webcam and like hook it up to
Or-
one of them and just point it at the box
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Dalu can like watch the live feed while
You
we're
can
on
do
the
that,
call?
Combat has a
yes.
selfie
Like
cam.
on my combat walking around.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you can basically buy Compad, and that's gonna be
right.
good enough.
Okay, I'll subtract that. It's okay.
Ether's just going to say that, if they see her like walking around with welding equipment when they expect her to be asleep, do something.
We'll try.
She's not paranoid, but she has been in this business for a while. The ye olde shoppe of questionable magic items business. It's a family business. But yeah, you learn certain tricks of the trade, like making sure that there is surveillance of the nasty books that people shouldn't be touching.
No, we paid for surveillance. Now we have it.
The standard trick for her was to have one of the two keys to the lock herself and the other be held by a cousin who didn't live in the same part of town.
That
Just to
won't
make
happen
sure
in this
that
case if you're sleepwalking or whatever.
Okay, we've taken care of security. Let's go and see this doctor of necromancy.
So, for starters, this doctor is like a couple dozen kilometers away from the port, like more in the suburban part of town. They have a studio over there, or so it's called. So again, like you can actually like go there on public transportation, or you can like rent a ground car again if you want.
I would like to rent a car. I don't like taking public transport.
Let's
I like
say
driving.
5 of you. I mean, 5 of you should be able to fit in a normal car, even if just like slightly too close in the back seat. But yeah, sure, that's what 50 days a day, I think it was. And you go for a ride. A lot of you, I believe, haven't really seen Aurella much, and going through the dense part of the city is actually kind of scary, because like you notice how many of those like anti-red order places there is, not just in the port area where you traveled through previously, but like throughout the city as you go into the business district, shopping district. And it almost comes as a relief when you like leave the streets and get on a highway where you don't really hear that somebody's gonna stop your car, and you start driving down one edge of the island on your left as you're driving, but after a while you reach the suburban part of town where it's more like private apartments, house rather than high-rise buildings, commercial districts, and go off the highway into one of the side roads and start traveling through it, side streets, looking for the address you were given. And as you arrive there, you're like, park the car, get out of the car, and like look at the address, look at the building. Because what you stopped in front is like a large ground level building where most of it is just like pane glass, and the sign on the building says "Crank It Up Fitness Center."
Okay.
And considering your travel time, you're getting there like at around, let's say, like 2, 3 in the evening. It's mostly empty, but you can still see like some people inside of it, like pumping iron, like working out. But then you can like come up to the door and like read like the smaller tablet that like says like working out and so on, and like at the bottom of it does says like fitness center run by certified doctor of necromancy, Wordred Rakencrack.
Wordred what?
Wordred Rakencrack.
What the fuck is he? What civil?
Okay.
What species is he?
Wordred.
More to the point, why is the necromancer running?
Wordred riddle crack. Ah.
That's when
okay.
you hear, well, as a matter of fact, that's a she. And it's a respectable business. What are you doing
Not
in front
that
of my center?
It's a very respectable business and a very respectable profession, but not a business and a profession that tends to go together.
Don't know much about necromancy, do you? You kind of look to the side and you see, as you've been approached by a dwarven lady, well, being as stocky as dwarves are, but really not much shorter than all of you. Her hair kind of like tied back in a curly ponytail, a sweat-absorbing band on her forehead, and she came from a jog. Basically, as she approached you, kind of like taking out the compad earphones out of her ears. You're looking for me? I'm Bordred, Doctor of Necromancy and Bodily Health.
Suppose we are. Yes, indeed. We seem to be looking for you.
Sorry, I should ask first, are you... do you specialize in positive necromancy?
What other necromancy could I be specializing in?
Negative.
Where are you spirits here? Yes, I should have made a better joke, because spirits can also be ghosts. Mental spirits. Oh, good spirits. Not bones. Say something?
No, he did not.
No, he just left.
So, I don't
Hmm.
know a lot about magic and medicine. Apparently, I've been told. And how do you lift up the spirits? Like, is it you just need to work out, or what? How does necromancy help? I'm new to this topic.
No, that's not why we're...
Oh.
It's interesting. That's all.
Well,
Is it you don't feel the pain then, or
hey.
it's what always kept me from working
Alright,
out?
I guess I need to start from the very beginning. You're not looking for an abandonment, are you?
We're not gonna be here for a long time, so unfortunately.
That's my other job, right? Alright, come on in. Don't look too creepy. I'm gonna hit the showers and meet you.
Certainly.
Where will we wait? Have you got an office?
Of course she has an office. She's not a savage.
Just gonna stand around out here and
I mean, I
all
can
the
the
other people.
strangers, so I don't know about you living here alone in my office, so how about you enter the center and look at the equipment, test it out.
Oh God.
Just don't
All
break
right.
any of the mirrors, that's bad luck.
Do that.
Like, on the door, waits for all of you to
Oh,
get
yeah.
in.
Cool.
And then you see him disappearing like in the back of the building where there are like doors towards the changing rooms and showers.
Mhm.
I mean, do you intend to do anything? Because otherwise it's just like a small scale business fitness center.
Aether's going to conspiracy theorize about the necromancer making use of like the latent background aura of pain and suffering.
Damn. Good.
But other than that, no.
Any people in the gym that don't know what they're doing that we can just look at while we're waiting?
Make me a notice wisdom check.
Okay.
Oof. Yeah, you notice a guy trying to do what are they called? Bench lifts, I think. Bench press? Bench press, yes, that's what it's
Yeah.
called. Bench
Mhm.
press. And you're like clink, 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 clink as you hear ow!
That's a
See?
bit of entertainment.
Oh God.
I told you, Aether says.
Pain and suffering it is.
Where somebody's already helping him, but yeah. And
Lance, can't you just help the poor guy?
I'm not gonna help him. I'm not gonna.
Well,
Oh,
it'll be
he'll
fine.
figure it out himself for next time.
Look, that guy's already helping him. It'll be fine.
Yeah, but then
I'm
next
not-
time he'll.
I'm not gonna do that in public if I can avoid. If he was dying, sure, but he's fine.
You're no fun.
I can show off in front of him, just do it one-handed while not actually doing it, but...
Yeah,
apart-
do that.
apart from
You go
that-
to the training montage, but with your mind, oh, just train. You
dum
use this
dum
place.
dum.
I mean, can't you like touch it and then still lift it with your mind?
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I mean. Yeah,
that-
just like
pick
pretend
one of
like
those,
you're using
one
your
of those
muscle.
fucking
You
huge
you walk up to
barbells.
the barbell and you like go like two hands first and then you like one hand and then one finger. Alright.
No.
Yeah, so you entertain yourself for like 10 minutes, see kind of like getting out of the changing room, slightly wet hair, but dressed more properly. She goes, alright, come on in.
I'll follow.
Go in.
So she gets you into her office, which is like 2/3 of the office is stuff relating to the gym, I think some broken equipment. And another third is like what you would call a proper necromancy area, including like a diploma hanging on the wall with her doctorate, basically. And she kind of like sits down on her chair behind the slab, home slab, data slab. And there are only two other chairs, so mostly you have to stand kinda leaning Well, she goes, alright, where should we start? Necromancy, right? So the kind of necromancy you're thinking about is like manipulation of negative energy for the purpose of harm, right? Like making people wither, die, getting bodies with to make them ooh spooky, right?
I touched a weird, spooky thing. My hands withered. We're not sure if there's permanent damage, but we seem to have managed to fix the majority of it. And it was covered in strange glyphs we did not understand. We thought it was well outside our specialty, and that we should consult an expert.
Right. I was hoping I'm just giving a lecture on necromancy. They come to me with real shit. Alright. Let me have a look at your hands.
Hold that hands.
One hand.
Rips
Ah.
off hands. No.
Alright. And I grabs your joints as you go, ow, 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 ow. That looks like some kind of wielding magic. Don't worry, those rings are gonna get out. Just, hydrate them properly. Treat yourself. She kind of like opens her desk and gets out one of those things and gives it to you.
Exercise ball.
Don't go too heavy on it, but that's gonna be good for your blood circulation. Like, do 20 things each hand every day until your hands become normal again. Right, that's... Like, was it like all wrinkly and dried up like a mummy, or is it a bit better? Like vessels?
Live to win.
What do you mean? Like the veins were like not working at all.
Eh.
Like, you know, the part when they get black.
Yes, I just asked you about that. Are you listening to me even?
I'm trying.
Hmm.
I'm not a good listener, I'm told.
I should note that I had some pre-existing damage, which may have obfuscated some of the effects.
Well, I wouldn't say know exactly what kind of magic it was, but if it was that bad, I'd say you went off lucky. Could have been your whole body like that. And
should we show the, who has the glyphs?
Miles, I assume?
Yeah. We just to make sure we did all agree to show this specialist
Yes.
those.
We did, yeah.
So yeah, Miles, would you? And I assume Miles is just gonna show them.
Yeah, Miles, she goes. Not a lot of people here that can do that kind of magic. Most kind of stop at, raise a zombie, punch a skeleton kind of level of magic. This is pretty complicated. I don't really even know anybody who could do that. Where did you find that shit? That's when Miles kind of like shows her the piece of paper. She picks it up, passes on. Was it written on the thing that you touched?
Yes.
Oh. Don't touch it again. Because
No,
this is real shit. This is like professional shit.
I think we understand that it is real shit. I mean, we were in a life-threatening situation, so we do know it was real shit.
Apologies, how many people come to me asking about necromancy, and they're just kids looking for pranks. Anyway,
Very sophisticated bunch of kids.
Enthusiasts.
Jesus. Talking about racing
You
zombies
know,
is
kind of
Christ.
like crazy grandparent spirit and spooky birthday party.
A real zombie at a Halloween party or
Not a
something.
zombie, a
Well, okay, they
spirit.
probably wouldn't be Halloween.
Anyway,
But that is sophisticated, alright.
so his glyphs are ancient Nevekaran.
Mhm.
That's like old necromancy language, like
What's
original
it called
necromancy
again?
language. It's ancient Nevekaran.
Nebuchadnezzar. So you know it then? Can you read it? Like quite
Uh,
confidently?
well, if you give me time, like I'm not completely, how should I call it? I'm not native
So-
with it, but with my references, I should be able to read most of it.
Can I ask you a question? Where did you study this? It sounds so interesting. Where did you study?
I just not heard that's me.
You don't have to give me a place right now. Just like the affiliation of the place is all I sort of care about.
Sure.
Because it's only leading to another question. So.
Sure. It gives you a name.
And that's cool. I've never heard of that place before. Since this is sort of not your area of expertise, do you perhaps know someone, I don't know, Honorella or otherwise, who's who specializes in this sort of thing, in this real shit, this ancient Nevekaran?
No, it's complicated. It's not much easier than Draconic. And how many people speak Draconic? Like only real nerds do it, or well, people who wrote a dissertation about it, or like really proper people from that place we don't really like here.
Yes. So
Because you can make your zombies and skeletons with, like normal magic, but if you wanna like make an army, pilot a necro ship, that's a SHIP, not a bear animal.
yes.
You need the real language. It's where the magic came from.
So supposing one had some property that one would like to reclaim, but would like to make safe for human and humanoid habitation without more nasty withering of hands, what sort of specialist would one want to get in contact with for rendering things like these harmless?
Well, you could find an arcanotech. Check out if the thing you found is like hot or not. I assume it is since it's harmed you, but you're basically coming to a professor that studied criminology and asking how to commit a mass murder level of thing properly. It's like I've studied it, but the part you're asking about is
For practitioners.
it's not illegal. It's more like I didn't really want to go that direction. I was more studying necromancy for the health benefits, not for the undeath part.
Not a lot of pleasant career paths in professional mass murder, I take it.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It's necromancy is a highly popular and respectable job. Really, if I wanted to make some money, that's what I'd be doing. Just, I find it a little bit spooky, as ironic as it sounds.
Understandable.
Kind of that's the reason I moved from underground and like dark places. Not that you have to go into crypts and dark places if you're a necromancer, but some of the magic kind of works better in dark places. So,
But no old friend of yours or friends of yours who studied with you who might be
no,
more...
we're scholars. The place I went to, it's gonna be like, we'd get a picture of a picture of a picture of something like that, and we'd study that. More for the history application than for actual magic. I mean, you've like drawn, I don't know whether you redrawn or copied some of these glyphs. I can tell you that like these parts is like drawn wrong, but I don't even think I could activate something like this, even if I had the original picture you've had.
Fair enough. In your professional opinion, just, at a guess, and I understand that you can't, make any guarantees here, but at your best guess, would industrial explosives be disruptive to enchantments like this? Blow up walls with magic script?
Well, it would definitely damage or destroy the item. I'd suggest going overboard here, because if it doesn't get destroyed, it can be damaged enough to get like real hot, which can start leaking magic. And if magic leaks, you can get a spell plague. That's not really good.
Yes, no, I understand. All right. Nix in the
It's
expense.
generally ill-advised to physically destroy magical items. They tend to cause a lot of harm in the process. It's better to recycle and disenchant.
Sure, but occasionally there's been need to do so at prime disposal size. But
Look,
yes,
if you found
I mean,
something that has done that to your arms, and you think it's still dangerous, my best advice is chuck it overboard.
yes, we would have if that had been vital. Well, regardless, thank you for your assistance. Do we have any more questions?
I think so.
No, if there's no real lead way to go with this from here, then no, I think not. Or apart from what we owe you for this pleasant conversation, of course,
Of course.
since we used your professional expertise on the matter.
Oh, I really thought about that. Many people come talking to me about this kind of topic recently. Kind of refreshing. No. Let's just say I gave you a full day workout rate of 10 credits. Oh, and by the
I
way,
just earned 5 credits per day.
she... No, like, that's for one person,
For
but she
one
gets a lot
person.
more, yeah. She kind of opens her drawer again and, like, goes through it and, like, passes a couple leaflets to you, Isa, and goes, looks like you're having some general trouble with your blood flow. You might try out a couple of those, might feel better after a month or two.
Right. Thank you.
Just like glances at, like, like old, like calisthenic exercises for dummies.
Yeah, Ether gives her best. I am going to chuck this in the bin as soon as I'm at the door. Smile.
Well, thank you for your time.
Yeah.
We'll have to go. I'm going to give a brief goodbye, and that's it.
I mean,
if we're outside,
I'll just, when walking
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
just ask her, like, just one last thing. Is there, if you had a guess, like, is there anything in your studies where there was necromantic knowledge lost? Like any stories, any legends you heard of that people were able to do long time ago?
Or
where
lots of
knowledge
it.
got lost?
I mean,
Yeah,
the whole kingdom
like-
of Nevekhara is like long since lost. It's not since the Melazans came to power that we've started recovering any of the knowledge.
I mean, what more is there than commanding people or what's left of them? I mean, how much worse can it get?
Eh, have you heard the term necrotech?
No.
It's like
I haven't heard a
architect,
lot
but
of
with
things.
necromancy.
Oh.
Let's put it that way. Well, I mean, they're kind of going there with the necroships. You can do a lot with souls and objects. Or you're asking what's better than an army of undead? How is about an army of undead with actual spirits bound to the bodies? No, like with memories and personality.
Hmm.
That just seems like the army of the living with extra steps.
I was afraid you were gonna say something like that.
It's a really deep subject. I kind of skim the healthy parts.
All right. Anyway, thank you for your time.
All right.
How much did we give her?
The 10 credits she said.
Yeah, I'll just toss her
Or dock workers,
40
5 credits a
credits
day.
extra. I don't know.
They can't even work out.
Put 40 credits extra in hand.
Well, this might be a fancy, gem. So, like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
they have to work 2 days to get into.
Yeah,
What?
but it's also shut up money. I don't know.
Hmm.
Oh, maybe it helps.
Not in front of her, but when we're outside or something, just bring up
Back in the
Um,
car, yeah.
that sure might be a good idea. It's at least a possibility. It's a bit risky, but just bringing the book to him straight off. I mean, at least in my head, there's just a possibility that he can read it, which is enough for me. If we were going to understand it, simple as that.
Personally wouldn't. She said it was something she touched on in her studies, but not much
Mhm.
more. I'd look for someone who's. I mean, at least she carries what seems like the proper stance towards necromancy that we'd
Mhm.
personally probably enjoy. But I'd still consult with an actual expert on this if we can find one, that is.
All right. Well, fair enough.
I think it would be fair to say that like at this point, as Miles been listening and his gears and memory has been running, he goes, "Oh, well, this makes sense now. I felt like I was recognizing the sigils, but not quite there. I saw them in my parents' study. Those books my father never let me see. He said I'm too young for them. I was old, I thought. So I don't think we should go talk to my parents, but I know where to find somebody who could speak this, though. Well, I need to think about this because I don't want to make it.
So sigils that are an ancient language, but in books kept by your parents and your father specifically. It makes me think about what's going on in the background with you and your parents. Are these just historical documents? Maybe you don't want to say for them.
Yeah, I'm not
for
gonna say
tell.
anything because
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
am I forgetting something? Am I?
yeah. Fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
but regardless, it looks like our choices are either contacting an ancient Red Order necromancer or robbing a university library.
We could also try to speak to the university library's experts first, but yes.
Or we could sell the artifact to a university library.
Or maybe we've learned this sort of way of pronunciation from the woman we just talked to, and then we just like YOLO and try to read some of the, hope a demonic entity
What?
doesn't come and kill us all.
Yeah, of course. Good luck.
That's not how anything works.
I wish I could just pick up a language. I've heard it for 2 to 3 minutes. This is plenty for me.
I've put 2
Sounds
words into
pleasant.
Google Translate. I can speak the language now.
Yes.
Well, we mightn't understand it, but maybe we know what like the vowels and so on sound like. So we just start reading nonsense.
That
No,
sounds-
I'm more a joke anyway. I'm not gonna
What's
do that.
the best case? I mean,
I don't want a demon coming and killing us.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like
even
trying to study Latin, except instead of just being an old forgotten language, it's a language that was actually used to, summon demons. Well, not really demons.
Like I took like a year and a half of Arabic, and I can still barely pronounce things, much less understand them. And that's not an ancient, complicated, mystical necromancer language.
Maybe it's surprisingly,
Population.
Romanian or Roman is the word, I guess, isn't it?
So, honestly, I don't know if. I mean, we can certainly look further into it here on Arella, because it is such a big hub that we might actually still find someone if we keep looking and we invest some money and time.
Yeah, at this
into
point,
it.
especially you, Lance, I get a feeling that like any surface search will unlikely yield you any deep results. You actually need to like go down to ground, talk to some people you haven't talked in a long time, maybe check the back channels, talk to people who know some creepy stuff, not necessarily legal, but
The
Well,
unfortunate fact of the matter is that what we're trying to achieve amounts to a doctoral thesis.
Well, we
might
only
be-
need someone who's actually competent. Sorry, you were saying.
it's nothing to do with necromancy specifically, but someone I knew, Highlands a little bit far from here, that sort of helped me get a lay of the land when I came to the plane of air. Knows a lot about artifacts and equipment, and he worked with the academy, mostly just sort of sold stuff to skillful people, maybe even adventurers. And it was the one I mentioned. I got it down to like into black markets, so to speak. And so there was a lot of items that I tried to get at or unlock if they were in crates or so on. Try to break open and understand with him. And I have a feeling that he'd have some understanding and very weird oddities. But necromancy, I have no idea if he'd know. It's just an option. If it's
Where is he
artifacts.
based? Academy territory?
Yeah, academy territory.
Yeah, that's so far away.
It is.
I mean, and this ship we have can't even jump there, to be quite frank.
Also, as discussed, you don't think he's a specialist in necromancy, and this, from what the gym owner said, is very much a matter for specialists.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. But I was thinking that there might be some sort of trick up his sleeve, or the amount of items that he's sold and taken. And I mean, I've gone into kind of back alleys literally and gotten for him when I was learning the lay of the land. I thought there might be some trick, but
Did we
it's,
kill
as
the
you said, too
GM?
far anyway.
Did we kill the GM?
no.
Kill the
It was
shit.
just- you were just like, it looked like you were face desking a little bit.
Oh, I was making down notes because I
he
still
always
need
types like this.
to do my KGB job in the background.
No, that's completely fair. I was just concerned that you were like face desking at our antics, and no, good to see you're not.
In any case, sorry, go ahead.
Just one question. I mean, I'd love to figure out what this thing does, but what's the best case scenario? We figure out how this very, very dangerous and bad thing works, and then we sell it, we use it. What's
I have
our
no
goal
idea.
here?
It depends on what it is and what it can do and what should be done with something like it. I do agree with your sentiment, though. Honestly, the feeling I get from this is it's fucking fascinating, but it's gonna be dangerous and it's gonna corrupt people, and we are not gonna be able to sell it with a good conscience anyway. I don't think we are going to be making money from this.
I still say we
And
sell it to the university.
Or alternatively, you'll be making a lot of money of this, but at a lot of risk.
yeah, at a moral price maybe.
No, well,
So-
physical as well.
Maybe that too. So I'd personally also like to look around for. I mean, I can still, if we want to, I can delve deeper here, ask a couple of people I haven't asked yet, but then I'd need to meet them personally, and they. Last time, I mean, it's not unfriendly terms, but I wouldn't also call them friendly terms. You know, it's like, have you ever had a drug dealer? No? So, okay, let me, let me, how do I describe this relationship?
Sorry,
It's like,
I'm a doctor, I can buy things.
no, not that kind.
someone who
basically-
sold illegal goods to you. Yes, of course we have. Go on.
Perfect. So yeah, that kind of relationship that we can lean into and maybe get some more info. But I'm personally also, I'd like to look into a couple of more jobs in the vicinity, see if there's anything to make some credit while we go investigating too.
Sure.
Some low-scale salvaging. We could maybe buy some. I mean, Orella is unique in some ways in that some goods that are produced here because there are so many people are quite luxurious for other places and might be in need there. We could also buy a little bit of that for further trips. Just, keeping the money side of this somewhat in mind because I want to buy a racer.
Yeah. Certainly. We can also space the bloody.
We certainly could. I'd rather not until we know, but we could.
Well, I'm all up for going for a job. I think there was one that we. Am I right in saying that? There was one that we heard about. There was someone that we talked to that had a job. I think Dan mentioned it.
I think Elijah basically mentioned to Miles that he would.
Well, I
like
just said
to-
that he is always gonna have jobs for you because
Oh, yeah.
you're useful. So if you have interested, come talk to me.
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to take another job there. Right?
I mean, you definitely like your relationship with what's it called, Orella. Well, some levels of Orella government has certainly went up, so it's definitely gonna be like you're more likely to get decent.
Decent job, yeah.
Yeah, decent job from
pay
him.
for decent work.
Yeah, but obviously that's gonna be going a bit more in the direction of, if not
Red Dawn supporting.
well, if not necessarily, but it's even if it's not gonna be like obviously choosing sides, it's definitely gonna be working for one of the sides.
Doing jobs for them will help them for sure. Yeah.
Well, definitely, but then again, it's pretty hard to, do a job that is gonna affect nobody.
Probably not out there.
This, especially if you're not, if you're looking for a well-paid job.
Just to clarify, there's Elijah is his name. So that's what Miles was talking to. And then there's another group which is what's the other group? You were talking about in terms of this just jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably, just like basically try and get some jobs through a contact role, see if any person I know on here is in
Okay.
need of a crew that has a ship and wants to do something
Sure.
sort of like
Alright.
that. Or
Okay.
even on the ground, you never know.
Oh wait, didn't your contact
He
who
said he-
was with the academy a bit too, but didn't he say that you could do a favor for him? Was that him?
Yeah.
And
Then
he'd
we
give you
could-
information,
Yeah, if maybe he owed me a favor, something like that, yeah. I mean, certainly I could also ask that. But, yeah. Okay. I'm not, not the biggest fan of him. But
Well,
I'd
any
be willing to
rivalry you
work.
could.
No, and we're not rivals. It's just not, someone I'd rather not go for a beer with them. If I can describe the relationship in that way, it's just not my kind of person.
Well,
Your kind of person has proven remarkably broad as categories go. What, if you don't mind sharing, makes someone not your kind of person?
The kind that's incredibly devoted to a particular line of thinking. The people who are very black and white and really can't appreciate or see all of the colors of gray that exist in this world. And I don't know, it's honestly to be it's a little rude, but on a superficial level, it's just when I hear him talk, it sort of disgusts me a bit. It's not like that's something I get with people or anything, but it's just, sometimes you just have a bad feeling about someone.
sounds
But
a bit more
I like most
personal.
people who aren't like, the other side is also people who are only on the lookout for themselves and only looking to use you and that kind of shit. I've had plenty of that at the academy, so also not my type of person.
Would you say is like we're just in disregarding personal quarrels? Is there maybe is there good business at the least? Would you say that's also bad?
How do you mean good business?
Like
Or
because you said that you sort of mentioned sort of selfishness in a sense. Is that Can you see that selfishness in the work that you're doing with him as well? Not on a personal level.
Yeah, he will. I mean, certain people they will like you have a friendly interaction, and either you will honor that by going down with what you are asking, or they will come up with what they are asking for, whatever. And with him, it's always just business from most things. Speaking of, I'm wondering what he'll find on your profile and what he's gonna ask
Yeah.
for that, but yeah, we'll see.
I assume I've sent something on to you by this stage, or some small.
Yeah, I
And then
think I
that was
already.
already sent. Oh yeah, that was done
Yeah,
already.
I passed
Oh,
it to him and he's checking his database.
sorry, 1 second.
We maybe take a few minutes break.
Yes, let's
I
do
mean,
that.
yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Okay.
Take a 5-minute break. Be
We're back. Alright. So if I remember correctly, you guys are kind of figuring out what you're gonna do now. Because I don't think you're planning to travel back to Academy airspace. I don't think you're
No.
planning to travel to Red Order airspace. Not that you can. Well, technically you can if you abandon your ship and charter passage on
Yes, very likely.
other ship.
Continue with the train of thought.
You can potentially look for like another ship to piggyback you there, which is also possible, but that's gonna cost a lot of money and that's gonna be quite hard because not many ships are equipped to piggyback other ships.
No, we're good. We're good.
And again, like for reference, I mean, I don't think all of them, like, I think a lot of them are kind of about places that are far away from you right now, but like, you don't even have to pursue this quest, so to speak, right now, because see, like, that book was you being really great. You've got it. You might have not gotten it.
You say great or greedy?
Great.
Okay.
Like completely go off on a tangent, and again, like pretty much every single news piece, well, most of them are kind of like story hooks on their own. So you're quite welcome to try and go
We want to
investigate
go
one of
buy
them.
an ananas, you mean?
No, you can't buy an ananas. Well, you can buy ananas stock. No, ananas is a company.
I mean, their newest product, their iPhone.
How did I call it? Anyway, yeah. So
I also need to really get like used to the. Wait, are we on Orello?
you are on Orelli.
Oh, I always thought it was Orella, and I thought it was an A. Fuck. Okay.
Abakasi, yeah, Abakasi. Yes, it's called Orella. Double R, double L.
Yeah, I also thought it was with an A instead of an O. Okay. Yes. So what do we do first? Have we heard back from Erky about the profile we
No,
sent him?
it hasn't even been a full. It hasn't even been a full day, and that is gonna take at least.
Okay. Can I look around for potential listings of jobs that might not be from our dear friend or not so dear friend? Like anything, just like in the sense of salvaging, people who need transport, things that need to get looked at. Any other ideas for general scopes?
You asking me or others around?
Anyone? No, everyone who wants to know or.
Aether's still a little bit in her, point me at a problem and I will try to take care of it phase. So she would prefer if we could do anything that was not being government stooges again, just because.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm also looking forward to, like diversify the people we work with.
And the work Dalu would probably do would be quite maybe shifty behavior is the way to describe it, or mercenary work even, and specialized, and I'm kind of getting that vibe off of some of us, so I think I kind of what's the word, maybe more sly jobs, or a nuance of like
We can certainly look around for
stealthy.
that too.
Yeah, okay, sure.
But I feel like the circles we are or would be digging in then are probably connected to the ones we may have just ratted out to the government a few days ago. I don't know, might be. But who knows who did that, Nobody knows.
We could always do some very wholesome work. Well,
Deliver some
okay. What
puppies to
about
some orphans.
yeah? That's what came to mind was cats and trees or something. But we could do okay. Like, there's got to be some sort of escorting. There's always bound to be valuables, need of transport, of some kind.
We're not really a particularly well outfitted vessel for anything major.
True, very
Besides,
true.
Could be on land
besides
even.
anything major would probably have a regular contract. Trusting valuables to an escort hired without vetting is just asking to hire your own pirates.
Enough, yeah.
Which
But yeah.
admittedly would be entertaining, but bad for business.
True, true, true.
Somewhere in the distance, my other character concept, the ex-Githyanki pirate, is just like, wow.
Yes. Maybe. So, do you have any sort of an agreement, or are you just...
I think we are plain
Yeah.
looking for adventurer jobs, it feels like to me.
Make me a connect intelligence.
Sure.
Rhino is conflicted, but you wouldn't know because he always looks like grumpy.
And if there's nothing that springs to mind around here, doing a brief trading run of whatever goods need moving.
I think, yeah, that might also be an option. But though in-system things are usually, yeah.
Process.
I mean, why not?
For goods.
But I
Oh,
rolled
wow,
well.
that's
We might
very
get a
well.
good job.
Alright, so let's say while you were talking to what's his name? Irka?
Arky.
Irky? Can you spell it out?
E-R-K-Y. Yeah, I can write it. I wrote it in... I wrote it down, sorry.
So let's say while you were talking to him, he also just forwarded you a list of operations that Academy has basically like pointed out in the reloading system. That somebody of your call it
Make caliber.
yeah, let's say caliber more like
type.
some of your equipment might be interested in. So if you with the map, you know that Shatterland technically has another unpopulated island that is completely toxic and like it's really bad over there, so people don't live there. But
Ruins?
no. The empty island with the gas
Okay,
cloud.
that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there are rumors that somewhere around that island is pirate refueling base outpost. So it's like a generic enough job that nobody would necessarily go looking for it, especially considering that sure the pay is acceptable, but so is the risk. And it's not urgent, but like basically if you do that, it's very likely that local government is gonna pay you good money for taking care of those pirates. And then you catch 2 more messages coming from the local small island cluster, where you just were basically. One of them is basically hauling request, like a local outpost needs help transferring equipment, personnel, and goods from one rock to another one. They're basically moving. And another one, similar like generic, is that a ship got stuck at the refueling station with some malfunctioning equipment, and they require repairs and a rescue.
That's the one on the news?
It's not the news, it's more like professional news, let's put it that way. But yes.
Twitter.
The pirate refueling station thing. What exactly do they want us to do with that?
Either find the pirates and destroy them, or at least find and destroy the refueling. They want pirates out of the system, basically.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I think I misunderstood something. So when you say pirate refueling station, what you mean is a refueling station for pirates, not an
Yes.
not
an illegal refueling station, no.
Yeah, my brain was just like, so they're dodging some fuel taxes, so in response to negotiating.
While that could be an interesting quest, I figured it's slightly not in your profession. I mean, who knows? Like, maybe Aether wants to flex her trade muscles, check out her accounting skills.
I was just like, that's a bit of a disproportionate response. Like, tax evasion.
Our refueling station is already in Texas. Blow it up! Yes.
Yeah, I'll give the group like the list of these jobs.
But this is like basically like generic, quick jobs that he managed to throw your way, so to speak. Or at least so he says.
What do you think? Anything strike your fancy?
Well, I don't particularly care for playing floating.
Hunter.
Oh no, that's fine. I was going to say I didn't particularly care for playing floating donkey cart.
Which one is that?
Transporting things from one aisle to the next, I think.
Yeah.
Thank you for translating.
But as you describe it now, pirate hunting, that sounds fun.
Also sounds dangerous, but yes, fun.
Mhm.
I'm all for that one. We can find a base, see what they have managed to accrue too.
So the pirates have a refueling station.
Yes, it looks
Okay.
like it.
So if we take out the pirates, it's our refueling station.
Good point.
Right. No.
I think the government might take issue with that perception, but technically yes.
But it
No,
might be
no,
fine.
Wayne is correct. The problem is that when you destroy the pirates, and this becomes your refueling stations, you become the
You are the
pirates.
pirate. Yes, you're
And there's now a new, well, actually there's not even a new job, there's just the same job. I mean, I'm all
Incidentally,
for
it's
it.
funding is
Mhm.
wasted in this particular system.
pay us to become the new pirates.
I'm the captain now. Look at me.
I mean, yeah, we can take on that job and see what it entails. I mean, there's nothing. From what I gather from what you told us, it's not like an official listing or anything, right? It's just like this is a known problem, and
Yeah.
if someone were to take some initiative,
It's basically
and
an open bounty.
see what's
It's
out
like,
there.
yeah, it's an
Yeah.
open bounty.
Is there an amount of credits put to that bounty or gold or whatever we use? Credits. I mean, I want to do it regardless. You can think on it between sessions for all I care.
Oh, well, that's not.
I'm down to hunt some fucking
What's up?
pirates.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yes.
sorry, I just want to say, Dalu, you could read networks, right?
Sorry?
Could you maybe look and see if you could find any reports of these pirates attacking people, just so we get an idea about what sort of vessels we're dealing with?
Fair enough, yeah. If I could maybe, I guess, take details as much as I could off the job and then try to find any relevant information on them on a
Mm.
network and Aurelio.
Done?
Could I do that then?
Oh, sorry, I thought you were talking among yourself. Can you repeat that again?
So, like, could I take any information off of the job and search for relevant information on these pirates and find it, on the network in Aurelio?
You can try, I guess.
Yeah. Basically, like the idea, like Aether was saying, like the ship they use, the ships, possible ships, and that sort of thing.
Right. One moment, let me solve your questions one at a time. So to answer Lance's question, um, so the payoff is as following. For destruction of any like tugboat, basically, of a pirate tugboat, which is basically gonna be like a fueling shuttle, 5,000 credits. For destruction of a pirate fighter, 10,000 credits. For destruction of pirate frigate class vessel, 50,000 credits. And 50,000 credits for confirmed kill of the pirate leader.
Oh, there's some money in this. Holy shit.
And do write this down, because I just made up those numbers.
50, 50, 10, 5.
And Dalu, yeah, make me, I guess,
And
a
for the fighter.
program.
Sure, yeah.
Fighter was tanky.
Yeah, and patrol boat.
But yeah, as you, not patrol boat, a frigate
but
class.
no, I forget it was 50. Yeah.
But yeah, as you can see, like there's expectations that they have at least a frigate with maybe at least a fighter. So like doesn't mean
Then
they are
we'll-
always flying together, but and the risk and reward don't make place.
14.
14.
Pretty good.
All right. So
Insane.
yeah, that's
Max roll.
very good. So let's say you basically like going on a like deep local network search, like sifting through
Right.
rumors and posting and like ship reports and logs with the keywords and destinations. So one like the rumors you get are saying that in that gas cloud, or well, yeah, magic gas cloud that I mentioned around the empty island around Torgon, that's the name of the island. There is a like refueling station or mine called Kumara, and outwardly it's working as nominal, but it out of all the stations there, it seems to be the most suspicious. Like just a captain is saying that like the workers there are getting us through refueling unusually quickly. They refuse like prolonged stay or repairs. They just like look jumpy. So yeah.
Okay.
And
Any idea on? So you said Kumara is
Yes.
in the gas cloud.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any details on, for instance, people or
Yeah.
ships or yeah.
So you also find a report of an unidentified convoy traveling from the gas clouds somewhere around the island, like going to refuel something.
Mhm.
And according to that report, the convoy had basically like 2 refueling crafts, 2 fighters, and some frigate class vessel. They aren't sure which one it was. They didn't approach. Definitely not a heavy frigate. But like they say, it was somewhere like around 40 meters long, which could be anything like from a free merchant to a corvette, which kind of puts the threat level quite differently. But all in all, and the feeling you get after going through all those news is that they aren't dealt with because their fleet is significant enough that Arella, with their current problems, can't afford to send government craft to deal with it, and most mercenary groups aren't strong enough to safely deal with them. Because like nobody's gonna take such a mission when they aren't sure they're gonna survive it and earn enough money. And the rumor is that they have some support from somebody who either
Okay.
paying them money for the fuel or gave them a ship. Like from here on, you're going into like depths of conspiracy theories, which would make Aether proud. But yes, the general consensus is that somebody's definitely covering them, and most likely that's where you're gonna find the captain or leader. But I'd say you assess at your current power level, the danger level would be like around 7 or an 8. And a lot will depend on how well you'll be able to hunt them and take them down individually. You think if you could find them individually, you should be able to handle them. But if you face the fleet, no. Like, almost no chances. With your current ship, no. Like, even if their ship, like, even if their frigate is same as yours, no. Not 3 herbs. So that's the information you find.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Well, I mean, immediately it sounds a bit dangerous. So we would need to be if we could scout it, but some way of identifying what damage them to take them out, take some out at a time, something like that.
Now, obviously, you can take into account that if you manage to like capture those vessels, the payout is gonna be much greater. But well,
Yeah,
it's not
gonna
easy.
be vessels for us. Yes, that is a great payout. No.
So they have a station and they're still operating the station?
It sounds like it.
And they're not pirating?
You didn't actually just while I have you down, before you forget the stuff that you said there, based on the same program check. Could I also see like the exact area? Because you mentioned the Kumara, like the station, the gas cloud, right? But I mean, like, can we? You don't need to name it, but could we see a general area that the pirates influence? so that if we, let's just say,
There
because
you
I was
go.
thinking, what did you
I'm
mark
thinking
it
the
somewhere?
general area pirates and
Okay. Well, if I were to say something like we wanted to be on the outskirts of it to try and get one ship while there are these
You basically need to travel
convoys going in
from
and out.
this region to this region
Yeah.
and use your scanners, either passively or actively, depending on how daring you are, to search for ships and try and identify them as pirate ships.
Right. Okay.
I mean, you obviously can go to Kumara and try to lay in wait there, but like if you wait there for long, like chances of you not being noticed there if you've spent enough time are 0. They will notice you eventually. Like your ship is not a stealth frigate.
Not yet.
And
If you were to attack a ship
Yeah.
and it's outside of a network? So look, it's in the we're in the gas clouds. It's nowhere near certain islands. I mean, how does a ship that just gets alarmed, a pirate ship that gets alarmed by it being under attack and wanting to tell the rest of these pirate ships,
oh, they can't.
okay.
Like
I assume
basically,
so.
your communication range is like 30 kilometers or something.
With our personal comp server,
Yeah,
something
basically.
like that.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it sounds like a good idea to just
If we can get them one by
try
one.
to.
Yeah.
Question: are there static defenses near the actual colony itself?
You mean the mining station?
Yeah.
No, I mean the colony itself.
Oh,
sorry,
Orella?
the
Oh yeah.
so we have a place to retreat to. Is my point.
It's a long way to run, but yes.
It's a 2-day run, right?
Oh, a 2-day run.
Yeah,
right.
but
2.5
between
days.
regions is 2 days, and within region is 6 hours. So
okay.
with our current, and that's just
Like
hoping
the good news
they
is that it's unlikely that they have ships much faster than yours, so
Yeah, that's what I
assuming they don't sneak up on you and don't engage you in actual combat, it's very likely, like if you notice them, they notice you, you should be able to escape. But yeah, if they're faster than you, or if they notice you, you don't notice them, they sneak up on you, then it's combat. And again, like
danger.
maybe you can take down a fighter, maybe 2, you're not sure how well they're equipped. Maybe you can take down the frigate, but all of them together, way too risky.
What kind of place is Kumara? Like, is it just refueling station?
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
What is it?
refueling station. Just imagine like
So
a
you can't
small
just-
artificial island that is floating in the magical gas cloud that's like gathering and filtering the magic in the air and basically transforming it into fuel.
What if we
Like that's where you
take
could.
over
That's where
the
you would
station?
go if you wanted to, like fuel scoop. You would go to that gas cloud.
If what? Sorry.
You will scoop. If we wanted to.
No, I got that. It was
Sorry.
What was being asked by Phil.
Just if that's maybe an opportunity to like get one ship and get on board the ship if we hide on the refueling station. Just an idea.
Depends on what you want to do with our ship in the meantime. Seems a little difficult.
Co-pilot.
And the problem is, if the station is indeed overrun by pirates, I mean, how do you tend to hide on a station where they know everybody? Like the moment, like if the rumors are correct, the moment you go like, oh yeah, we want to disembark, we want to like walk around the station, stretch our legs. Like apparently captains are saying it hasn't been welcomed, which is why the rumors are coming from.
You're kicked the fuck out if you're not one of them, and if you look like you might be like an enemy, probably it's significantly worse than that.
And like obviously Aether and Dalu are really good at what they do, and Miles is not slouch either, and Lance, to be fair, isn't either. But like, it's a station. It's not gonna have 5 pirates on it.
So like a parrot nest, more like.
Aether is still in favor of
Maybe
this, but she's not going to, you know. I think she's going to say something to the tune of, "Come on now, you're all young, aren't you supposed to be completely blithely unaware of your own mortality?"
I'm down. I don't know what we're talking about. I am certainly down for this.
I'm gonna say, Aldalu says, I'm quite up for the idea of capturing one of those ships. That sounds like, well, it depends obviously which ship we manage to scan. If we go to the area and there's some, as described, what was scanned, heavy duty ship, well, but not that heavy, then it might be quite difficult. But if we were to find some smaller vessel, the idea of capturing it,
We're not capturing anything that's a pipe dream. Oh, it might happen, but really do not.
If
say
they
this.
don't have too many weapons, it is in the books, but it's a difficult one.
You might potentially manage to capture the very last of them, but then we'd have to know that it was the very last.
well,
I mean,
in any
I'm
case,
certainly down.
Mhm.
We can fly there and check out what our scanners pick up, what Dalu manages to grab from them, go visit the station, get an impression. We don't need to, disembark, but just to see if it feels connected. Maybe some shenanigans there too. I don't know.
But even if we pick one off, like the moment we attack one, like they all know.
They do not.
No.
They don't have the comms.
Now the comms range is very limited in this game. Basically,
like comms are of like sailing ship era.
So
Type.
we don't, go close to the refueling station until we're very certain that we've taken out multiple of them. That would be mad. But if we manage to do that, then
even then, I think the dangers are mostly in if we catch a grouping of them. That's the danger. If we find them individually, we can destroy them, or some of them for sure, without too much danger to ourselves. And they won't be able to communicate it. It will just they will certainly notice after time that it's gone dark, that it hasn't returned, that kind of deal, but they can't. There will not be any outgoing comms informing the others that they are being attacked.
well, I say we do it.
Yeah, let's let's refuel first a bit. I will do that. Done. I will.
You mean
find
resupply?
Resupply, yes.
Was your fuel still full because you haven't jumped
of
anywhere?
course. Let's buy 20 days.
Actually, no. Comserve is 300 kilometers, but like again, kilometers doesn't even cover all of Orella.
Just make sure to remove a little bit of credits because unfortunately we have to fuel Miles's alcoholism.
I'm pretty sure he can fuel that with his own credits.
Not to mention Phil's bunnies.
Yeah.
We are refueling 20 days here.
That's like.
So we are back at
400 credits?
What? No, that's like 2k credits.
Oh, right, it's 20 credits per person, so yeah.
Yeah, it's 100 credits a day for us. So 20 days is, yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
And then I will head our ship in that direction, yes.
Right?
shouldn't we like have a cover story?
I mean, we have
Like, what
got,
if-
we've
Sorry,
got
it's
2
a-
days.
them.
Oh,
Excuse me?
what about an idea of like it's just the idea of capturing a ship again? But you said cover story. What if we use the ship in the end? If we captured a really small vessel to get into the large areas of the group? Some
We'll be surrounded
very,
by a large group of enemies in a small vessel.
very intense. That's true. There could be
Yeah.
some very
Better for
operative
me now.
mission.
I don't have to choose who to shoot at. What is that joke about? Like, I'm not surrounded. It's target-rich environment.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no.
You know, an operation of stealing a 50,000 credit worth leader of the pirates.
I mean, to be fair, it's not like nobody travels through that place. Like, it's not like they are so overt and widespread that they're blowing up every ship that goes into the gas cloud. Obviously, no, they're still hidden. There are quite a lot of stations, refueling stations in that gas cloud. Most of them are like private, so they don't work for you guys. They mostly like fuel rail basically, but
Not if you attacked every single person passing
Yeah.
through, people would stop passing through.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
basically.
have anyone to attack anymore.
you won't be able to pirate anybody. Yeah. So it's not
That's what
like
they
you
said.
being there in the cloud is suspicious. It's like if you start hanging out around the rumored pirate hideout, then I'm gonna start asking questions. Though, I mean, who knows, you guys? You might manage to play off like our ship is damaged, we need immediate repairs kind of situation. I don't know. Like, the world's your oyster. You can come up with any plan you want based on your skills.
Yeah,
Not
we
my
should have a
job to
plan.
come up with how you solve this problem. I just gave you a problem.
Yes.
And it would be very advisable for you to like spend the next half an hour preparing for this mission, like figuring out equipment, supplies, your approach, so that I can then spend the week.
We won't be
Preparing for
using that approach next week, even if we
Well,
prepare it now.
I
That
mean,
is
at
how
least
this works.
I'll have a week to
Plans
prepare
never
the
go.
pirates, but
Plans never go well.
so I can cobble up most of it off my head, but
You
I mean,
you
is
need
there
some
any
more-
supplies? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, yeah, no, sorry. Go on.
you can go on the black
no,
market
no.
and buy a rocket launcher.
No, all I was saying was maybe let's not make jokes about getting hit by rockets right now, given
Yep.
anyway, no, I was just saying that Aether's, contribution to the discussion of what we should do is, try not to get shot at by multiple ships at a time and blow the bastards up. They blow us up. She's still. Someone should probably talk to her about her death wish. That might be a good idea.
I was checking out the equipment and I don't know if there really is anything to purchase that would be of great use.
Before we leave, it was mentioned before that buying weaponry in Arello is hard, but I really want to get a sniper rifle. Just to have. And is there some kind of, black market way of possibly getting weaponry?
Oh, there's always a black market.
Yeah,
It's just a
So-
matter of can you find it safely.
right.
You could,
Before we leave Arello, I would like to pick up the I've just forgotten your name for sniper rifle, but the
Zale?
magical Azale.
Runeluck Giselle.
you can
Oh,
also
jeez,
obviously
Giselle.
try and go ask Elijah for a favor, but
I mean,
again,
we will probably be back.
Yeah.
Which is good.
so you're trying to find a black market?
So long as it doesn't take any, significant amount of time.
I think it will.
Uh,
But that's fine, that's fine. We can go get a weapon for you, so you've got something else to shoot with. I don't mind that.
Mhm.
Also, we've got our captain not here anyway, so... And the pirates need some preparing.
Um,
Yeah, Ethan.
So, how long are ship combat turns again?
One turn is about 7.
Good, good.
What?
Winnow, Ether will ask you for assistance. Specifically, she's going to say, last time we were in a combat situation, it was a bit of a general cock-up. Obviously not talking about when we were on were firing on the ships, but when we were boarding that ship, it was a mess.
Yeah.
You were bleeding out, and everyone was bleeding out, and it brought back some things that I'd prefer not to think about again.
Well,
I'm aware that long-term fixing these things will be a long-term project, but do you have anything I can use to help me if things go sour and I need to be on the ball even when disasters happening?
well, usually for these kinds of things, there's no magic pill. And
Mundane pills?
excuse me?
Mundane pills?
Looking.
I think
But
I
at
have a
some
feeling you're
point-
treating her question a bit too mechanically while she's talking more. No?
I don't know.
I do have a specific mechanical thing in mind that I think would work. But I don't know if that's the kind of thing that Winnell would suggest. And I don't think that Aether really has the expertise to go sourcing drugs on her own.
Yeah, I mean, so there is a thing, but I don't think it's gonna fix your problem. To fix it,
I'm
you'll
not
probably
asking
need
you.
to.
Winnell,
Okay.
I'm not asking you to fix my problems. I'm asking you if you can get me something that'll allow me to stay the fuck on task when I need to save people's lives.
Or not sure if it's a good idea, but I'll get back to you.
Saving people's lives is usually not a good situation to be in anyway, but when it's necessary, it's necessary.
Out of character, you guys, whatever you guys are looking to purchase in drugs will likely lead us to the black market too. Just
Yeah.
FYI.
Yay.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just, since that was happening anyway.
Is there a check that we would all need to do then?
Yeah, I was just waiting
Like,
for them to
Can I
finish.
connect us
Yeah.
to the black market?
Are you letting clans connect you, or are you trying it on your own?
No, I definitely wouldn't do it unless I had to.
Right, clans. Go for it.
Can someone help me in any ways? Anyone else good at this?
Anybody has any connect
Yeah,
market?
I could attempt to. I'm not the best at connecting, but
I don't know anyone locally, but I do know the kinds of ways these businesses operate. There were a lot of things that were, like I said, yes, obviously I've had dealings with people who've sold me illegality.
I guess Ether could go with like a similar talk or connect skill. Just to generally assist with your expertise.
Yeah, I don't know if that would help, but yeah, I have connect at +0, so
I'll go for one of those. I mean,
You do,
worst
yeah.
case, you don't help.
yeah.
And it's all
Connect
his
plus
fault.
charisma.
What
Yes.
skill?
She's going for connect.
No, what? I mean, what modifier? Charisma. Okay.
oh, 10
nice
that's pretty
roll.
good.
Yes, that's gonna be +1 for you, Lance.
Okay. Well, let's hope I roll well. With this +1.
Well, it's not a matter of whether you find them, it's a matter of how well you find them.
Pretty good.
been on a really bad one, you might, I suppose, end up walking into a sting operation.
Or connecting to
Hey,
the
I'm
kind of
looking
cells
for
which
a
is switched off.
black market. Hands in the air, you're under arrest. FBI, open up. All right, 11. That's very good. That's very good. Let's say that, like, as all of you were basically like doing this research, where Dalu was just like looking for connections, the two of you pick up on like specific language and terminology that people use, and somewhat differently, but understand some of these like rumor sources as like these people know more than they are mentioning, like pretending to be less competent than they are, and like obviously these people aren't working for the government. You think? You're pretty sure? You're most likely. So like one of these people might be at least connected to some underground information network. At least the one that was mentioning like ship modifications and the like tactical information on like convoy path and possible cover for the pirate group. Like you're pretty sure that one of those people could give you more. And so far you only know basically their like internet address, but you could try and contact them through that.
Send them a private message. Hey,
Basically.
I'm also
You can try
We'll
slide
slide
into their
into
DMs.
Yes, fantastic. I don't think Aether would really know a DM if it hit her in the head, but she's used to doing her business in like dingy bars.
But we shall slide into those DMs. You know, ask them a couple further questions on what they already stated to get them talking, and then like.
Well, there's two ways you can go about this. You can just ask me for a skill check, or you could give me a proper speech, and it might lower your distance. Or increase it if you go really.
Our talk character is not here.
No, I mean it's more like if you, as a person, offer smart insert points, it might lower your DC.
So, like I said, my personal idea with this is to first get them, since they are the kind of people to engage in some online forum about things they care about, I would keep them talking about these opinions they already seem to have and sort of try and, you know, connect on a thing or two in that regard on the government's inefficiency at handling these kinds of deals and how some people need to take care of things themselves and how awful it is that you can't even get the right gear to protect yourselves from people like this if you're out there working these jobs, and you know you'd really be looking forward to getting any way to like you'd pay a decent amount to get an idea where to connect to these sort of things so you can look out for yourself, and also maybe since they're interested in getting or since they seem to show an interest in these pirates and mentioned to sort of look into that as well to gain some favorability maybe if that for that on top. But yes.
Aether's just going to Aether's going to go by a slightly different route. She's going to go by the route of like you know, I have these annoying psychological issues. They get in the way of practical matters. Doctors haven't really done much help. What have you other like? I'm the kind of person who likes to take charge of my life and fix what's wrong. What have the rest of you like managed to do? Because if there's one thing that communities definitely have, it's networks of people doing questionable self-medication.
Yes,
illegal drugs.
that is true. All right, both of you make separate connect or talk checks with, because you're basically going on tangent, like you find those people, but you're going on.
Mhm.
They're kind of different people as well, yeah.
Yeah. So
Eva
I
has the
have
disadvantage of
6
sounding like a grandmother.
and all right. So Isa, with disgust and scorn, you find yourself surrounded by anonymous people who, for some reason, address your concerns with politeness, care, and good advice. The problem is that good advice is giving you the solutions you should undertake, but not the ones you want to undertake.
Yes, make sure to see a therapist. Talk to
Yeah,
people
they
about
give like you
some-
good life advice, actual doctors, actual medicine. You want drugs. So you're like mad as people are actually trying to help you, but you don't want help.
Just like some drugs, please.
Yeah.
She sounded like a distressed 40-year-old Facebook mom, and people took pity on her.
Yeah, basically.
Poor thing.
Sorry. And Eulens, however, actually like you get a guy like talking about like ship specifics, and like you don't know enough about like weapons, so you can like get the guy interested, like talking about like racers and like how difficult it's getting to like get a proper like race going with the current situation, like the shortage of details of parts, so on, and like you've been thinking about like selling your stuff and getting a proper ship, and you know like helping to the cause, like maybe like getting out of those fucking vamps and so on, and like you know about the ship, like you figure out, you know what how to get, you know what engine to get, but you're like what do I do about, you know, like actual guns? And the guy just like goes on a rant, but like half of the trend is basically political manifesto,
I'm okay
but
with that.
hidden within it, as like reading between the lines, you're like, one, oh crap, it's one of the Green Front guys, like not necessarily directly part of it, but at least somebody
Clearly
who
ideological.
accepts the ideology. But the other one, you're like, yeah, like if I like ask this guy to do this, like he's on the hook. He's gonna get me somebody who can get me a weapon I would not be able to buy by a license. Like, and
I shall.
it's like it's gonna be like getting very close to like we're getting involved with people we didn't want to get involved with, but they will have this shit. And you're like, maybe if I like personally spin my story right, I might even get a heavy weapon.
But I don't think they aren't heavy, right? The sniper rifle.
A sniper rifle, not like heavy weapons. I mean, I'm talking about like getting some charges or like maybe a rocket launcher.
I'm not personally looking for that. I'm mostly doing this for Dalu and his sniper rifle. So
Up
I'm
to
just
you,
gonna
like, how much risk you
embrace
wanna
his political ideology and like completely agree and sort of.
I'm looking for a self-defense weapon, like Giselle.
Exactly,
I want to
like a
defend
sniper
my
rifle.
lawn from a kilometer away.
Exactly.
I mean, Aether could use a nice, like, whatever the fuck the equivalent
I mean, honestly, at
is.
this point, like,
What's
you don't have
that?
to respond immediately. You can like, ask the part like, "Hey guys, I might have a name. Like, what guns do you want?"
What are we looking for, guys? What do you want? What kind of
Sniper
shit are
rifle
you
and ammo.
interested? Sniper rifle and ammo for you? Anyone else? Any?
If they have any heavier caliber personal weapons, that would be convenient.
I don't know what falls in that category.
Anything I can lift one-handed that will put a bigger hole through things than this dinky wand?
They have prayer
Uh,
guns.
With your laser pistol.
You're basically
Where
looking
is the laser
at.
pistol here? Ah, there, gray one. I mean, there's an orb projector, I guess. Those do more damage, but they are also lower range.
Range is fine. If I'm at long range, I haven't really need to attack people, and I don't start shit, I finish it.
And yes. And the grudge thrower is basically a rocket launcher.
No, a grudge thrower, I'm pretty sure, is a grenade launcher. It's not a one-handed weapon.
No, not for her, but like, yeah,
Oh.
if you want anything else, but you could maybe we can get you an orb projector. We get Dalu a sniper rifle. Lock Giselle. Anyone else want a gun or bombs or a grenade?
Are you removing credits, by the way, or we're
Not
You're
yet,
not
we
buying
haven't bought-
yet. Like,
we haven't bought
Oh, okay.
anything. The
Yeah.
prices
Okay,
will
yeah.
not be the same, likely,
Fair
as they
enough,
are
yeah.
in the books since they are black market.
I will take care of the financing myself. I have enough money saved up and few other living expenses. If I'm to have a sidearm, I might as well have it be my own property. I will pay for the gun.
Yeah, I got that. I got that part. Do we need anything else? Like, I'm looking at like. No, this is melee weapon or heavy weapons. Let's look at them. They might be out of our price range, and apart from a couple of runic charges, whatever. They're okay. We could
I mean,
also
out of
try and
he-
buy some
out of
runic
he-
charges.
out of heavy weapons, basically like Trollhammer Torpedo or Rocket Launcher is only like personal wieldable heavy weapon. Although it does really work well against people, it's more against vehicles. Because like even a heavy ball throw, it requires an emplacement to fire, and like everything heavier than that, like starting from mech gun and going lower, like you can't even carry it around. It can only be installed somewhere.
If you're in a situation where you need to take out a moving vehicle, you're already fucked up, or you have a very specific
Fair
plan.
enough.
Trust me, I'm speaking from experience.
But we can buy runic charges if we want some bombs for the future.
You have a feeling that at least they will have them. Like you might
can try
have
to
to
get them.
talk well about it, but at least they should have it. And you're like, oh man, those green front guys are a bit more serious than we expected. Then again, they did steal a fucking ship weapon from us, so maybe that's right about in line with what we did expect.
And I don't think for Tal's character, like melee weapons, that there's anything
We can do that
would...
retroactively.
Yeah, that too, but it doesn't look like there's anything that's probably...
I mean, he basically has the best melee weapon he can get aside from aside from going like for an artifact or an enchanted weapon.
Oh yeah, that's not okay. So those two weapons you two guys said, and maybe runic charges, yes? Is that what we're going for? We should have the money for all of that, especially if you want to pay out of pocket. Yeah, so I will like send the guy another message with like, yeah, I'm looking for these kinds of things, for personal protection of my front yard and whatever.
To be fair, you're talking about protecting yourself from vampires, so he's not that surprised.
Yeah, of course.
Alright. So let's say he gives you a place, but that's kind of where you have to go in person. Well, he's not gonna send you guns over internet.
So my personal suggestion for this is, just in case that the Greens picked up on us being potential government sympathizers from us ratting them out previously. Maybe they know our faces, maybe they don't, I don't know. But with your help, Doc, I think we could just send a couple of people in. Me with the captain, for example, both changed. And if anything goes wrong, I'll get us out. That's not the issue. But I don't know. I wouldn't bring too many faces in there, especially not faces that they can recognize.
Sensible.
Be close by, but I don't. He seemed friendly enough, you know. I think it'll go over well enough.
Looking up something.
Hmm? No stress.
Actually, I can change all our faces. But yesterday you didn't want that. Is today different?
Well, I'm not going to be joining you anyway, so I don't particularly care.
Well, you already changed mine.
True.
Yeah.
But they know your changed face, so I should change it again, I guess.
I mean, if you all want to
Mm.
come, sure. I think, like, it feels a little, you know. I honestly feel like it'll be better to connect to them if it's just, you know, a couple of guys buying a couple of weapons and a couple of runic charges, not like a entire cell or ship crew.
Too many
Doing it.
sources. At the very least, a gun.
Ew.
Might also want to buy local clothes.
So maybe 2 different faces and a few cats. I don't want to
Cats.
send you in alone.
I mean, if you want to be close by as a cat, be my guest. Is
Can I
the...
change the cat too? That's too suspicious.
I don't think yet.
Maybe dog this time.
I mean, this location is definitely gonna be within range of our comm server, right? So
Yeah, it is within the city. Like, your comm server covers like half of Arella Island. But island, it's like there's a city, basically major, which is like really big, obviously. And then there's gonna be a lot of like basic territory which like supports the city, so like fields, water supplies, and so on and so forth. You know? And it's not the only city, honestly, on Arella. It's just the only one you guys really care about.
yeah.
A fishing village.
Do you want to start with that next time, since it's 10? Or
Yeah.
11 your time?
That should work.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mhm.
let's do that. All right.
And hopefully Tal will be back by then.
In that case, this is where we're gonna end our session for tonight before a shopping episode.
Cool.
Next week we'll shop for
Good stuff.
guns and hunt for pirates.
Yeah.